Well, the U.S. Embassy, in a statement, has stated that the visa restrictions have been lifted, and so Ghana has gone back to its original either 5-year visa term, depending on whether 3 months, 6 months, but the limit of 5 years has been brought back. And so if you want to go to school, if you want to do business, now is the time. And then we'll talk about Ghana's fight against galamsey. Government has made some pronouncement, but the real question is securing the forest reserves, is declaring it a security zone the way to go? The environmentalist groups, is this what you wanted? Will this suffice? I mean, imagine President Mohammed telling you this is the final resort. The final resort will be to declare a state of emergency. But in the interim, the forest reserves are security zones. Will this suffice for you as an environmentalist group? And even for you as Ghanaian, do you think that this sits well with you? And then we'll also talk about the NPP. The NPP has asked, some persons within the NPP are asking the party hierarchy to sanction the Ashanti Regional Chair and then the Bono Regional Chair as well. Is it time, since the NPP is looking at restructuring, is it time to sanction some people as it has done to Kofi Owusu Bempah? And then we'll talk about the ECG retrieval of some missing containers. Does this put finality to the matter? Do we have to revisit it again? This is what we have for you in our package. And then later on, we'll talk about societal pressure to get married. For you, a young person out there in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, are you being pressured to get married? Is what you're seeing on social media having a toll on you, and so you are under pressure to get married? We'll talk about all the nuances associated with marriage. So please, this is our package. We'll talk about all this and more. Do not miss any part of it. But let me tell you what today is. Is International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. I'm sure you'd recall that not too long ago, there were reports of toxins in our food. Last week, the FDA also released more reports on toxins in cereal, in some cosmetic products, and even turmeric. Now, today is the UN Day designated to focus on a significant amount of food lost or wasted throughout the supply chain at the household level, encouraging individuals and organizations to take steps to prevent it. Many farmers in Ghana often would complain about not being able to cut their produce from the farm gate to the town centers to be able to distribute. And so very often we have a lot of food going to waste in those farm areas. And so this is a day that tells us that it is important that we protect our environment by protecting food wastage. Let me help you with our quote for the morning to motivate you. Our quote for this morning is by Henry Ford, who says, "Hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle." That's very, very profound. Hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. If you have a talent, you need to put it to use. You cannot sit idle. Don't me find and show them with him and castle. I have a talent. It will not bear fruits for you. So whatever talent you have, add in the hustle, and you will reap enormous benefits. That's how we are motivating on a beautiful Monday morning. Let me help you improve your English language writing and speaking. Kai Kasi, the extra tall man.
Today's word is SCHADENFREUDA. It's a long word. Schadenfreude. It's a noun.
Schadenfreude means a feeling of pleasure or satisfaction when something bad happens to someone. For example, many social media users express Schadenfreude over celebrities' public scandal.
Schadenfreude.
I'm just imagining how somebody will feel good when something bad happens to somebody. I mean, oof. Anyway, so the people that were wishing other people died instead of those who died in the helicopter crash. Now, this is your word for this morning. Schadenfreude. Interesting. Okay, so let me pump you up. It's a beautiful Monday morning, like I said. I know you want to go out there and earn your keep, but you're all groggy. You're still reeling from your enjoyment over the weekend. It's a beautiful day. Let's give thanks to God. Nasi says, Asida. It's a beautiful day to be thankful, especially when we're ending September tomorrow. Wow, that's a beautiful way to end September. This September has been very eventful, if you ask me. August was, and September equally is. Anyway, it's not time for Inside Out. On Inside Out, we continue on Ghana's fight against illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. And last week, government went on another expedition where at that particular program with NIMOS, government declared forest reserves, water bodies a security zone. But for the pro-environmental groups, will this suffice? Is this what you wanted? Do you think that for you as a Ghanaian, President Mohammed saying that that is the declaration of a state of emergency is his last resort, but he says the water bodies, forest reserves are security zones, and so NIMOS will go all length to protect it. Will this do for you? Do you think that this can help in the fight against Galamsey? This can preserve these illegal miners from going into these areas? My producer and Hell of Political Justice joined us. Ivy, good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
Good. Yours?
Mine was quite restful. A few going around here and there, but...
Mine, I think, generally restful. I didn't step out. And, of course, given the job we do,
you know,
get that rest is very important.
It's very
right?
important. It's
yes.
rejuvenating.
Very.
But for you, I mean, we've talked about fighting Galamsey.
Yes.
We've talked about why government is failing or adamant in its declaration of a state of emergency, especially when government was one of the key people, this administration was one of the key people who advocated for a declaration of a state of emergency. I know that at the time, the previous government had resorted, for want of a better expression, or absorbed or put absolutely everything in place, but it failed.
Yeah.
And the then opposition said, declare state of emergency.
Yes.
Everything you had resorted to failed.
Yes,
all the means, you put it in place, committees, you put in place task forces, and all those things failed. The final resort is a declaration of a state of emergency.
Yes.
Then Andananado said it was not necessary.
That was not the way to go.
Now, 9 months on, environmentalist groups, journalists, and ordinary citizens are asking for a declaration of a state of emergency. But now this government says it is not important as we speak. Government now says, let's declare forest reserves and water body security zones. Will this suffice?
Well, if you ask me, Lily, this is government's own state of emergency. To be honest with you. Because
that's
in all
an
our
interesting one.
Yes, in all our conversations, we looked at, okay, so what is the end game? The end game is to be able to fight Galamsey. And what will be the evidence? The evidence will be the water bodies becoming cleaner, not looking like beverages as we are witnessing now, right? Our forest reserves being rid of these hoodlums who have evaded these reserves that when we were growing up, I grew up in a community that had a forest reserve. I'm talking about Santia Timjaso. Even going to the forest to harvest a pestle, mortar and pestle. For when we come to Santia Timjaso, we love our fufu, the mankin fufu and what have you. So it was illegal for an individual to enter the forest reserve to harvest just a tree, a small one to use as a pestle. Right. But now, people move excavators into forest reserves with impunity to mine. And so if government says forest reserves are now security zones, you know what that means? You cannot go there without somebody questioning you as to what your motive is.
Let me hold you there. Let's listen to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, who said, if you are a trespasser who goes into the forest reserve, you are an enemy of the state, and so you will be treated as such.
How did we get here? That the water levels that are supposed to from 0 to 500 are now 5,000 to 12,000. Impossible to treat. So brown. And every day we are talking about it. Some few select group of Ghanaians have decided they don't care what we say or what we do. What they want to do is to continue distracting the Ankobra, the Brim, and the Bra, and even take it to the Volta. And that is why they are bent on pumping out death and poison into these major rivers that are our lifeblood. We have come to that stage, and the president has made it clear. This fight against illegal mining is not going to be stopped, and every measure at the president's disposal will be used. We charge you, as a government prepares to deploy you for your permanent presence into the forest reserve and water bodies. Understand this clearly. These areas has now been declared by the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces as security zones. But for those who have decided that that is the only places, including our forest reserves, is where they are going to make their money, your time is up. Any recalcitrant entry into these zones is not merely a trespasser, they are an enemy of the state.
That's the Minister for Environment. Now, he's the caretaker Minister for Environment. He's the Minister in charge of lands and natural resources. And he says that do not go into the forest reserves. If you do, you are an enemy of the state.
Exactly.
Yes, it's very, very profound.
And
I
so
mean,
when I say this is a state of emergency, but in a more refined and controlled way, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? So now you have no reason to enter a forest reserve without somebody asking you for your mission there.
Yeah.
And like the minister said, you'll be treated as an enemy of the state, right? So that's it. Now the rest will be enforcement.
Good.
Getting boots on the ground and ensuring that, of course, it's going to be costly. Maintaining boots in our forest reserves, we have vast lands designated as forest reserves. It will be difficult. Fortunately for us, not every forest reserve that contains minerals or that the miners are invading. So those ones that we have identified, let's put boots there. Let's do this consistently for 3 months. Trust me, the color of our water bodies will change. Now, aside this, if we get a lid on the forest, because many of the rivers get their sources from these forest reserves. That's where the water sources come from. And so if they are mining in the forest reserves, they will use the same water for the activities, which will then ensure that the water bodies are polluted. And you see the color that we all see. So get that address and then put the blue water guards on the water bodies to also ensure that those who deploy champagnes and what have you are also gotten rid of. That is it.
At least then we can see development in these areas and by extension the entire country. Imagine, like Mr. Gentile always say, the whole country is covered in mineral resources.
Oh yes,
and so if we're covered in mineral resources and just 4 million out of 33 million want to leverage on that and take advantage of us, come on. We are more. I mean, if you look at the numbers,
oh yes,
huge. We are 33 million,
exactly.
And then there are 4 million people who are degrading the land. Come on, let's all come together and fight this.
And Lily, it's shocking because there is a system that could ensure that you mine and mine responsibly.
Yes.
So why not wait? The policy that was going to be launched, unfortunately, that cost us each of our citizens, our gallant citizens. Why not wait for government to roll that out, community to community? Put yourself together in cooperative and then assess this particular policy and mine responsibly. How difficult should that be? But you see, the Ghanaian averagely is inherently greedy.
Yes.
They cannot wait for the legitimate policy to come for them to what? Start mining responsibly. So in the meantime, as government is trying to put it out together, how much can we get? So that's it. So before the fight gains momentum and the system gets rid of us, how much mine can we do? How much gold can we get? How much money can we get in the interim? And unfortunately, some politicians are involved. And I'm talking about politicians in government are involved. I've heard the Minister for Agri, for instance, Eroko Poku, talk about the fact that a few greedy people within the party are inciting the galamseyers against the government. I will go further to say not just inciting, but because of the financial benefit that they will get, they are involved. And so once this declaration is made, whether you belong to a party A or party B and you enter a forest reserve, you are an enemy to the state, you'll be dealt with as such.
Simple. Yeah. But let's listen to President Mohammed during his appearance at the UN General Assembly, the 80th edition, where he talks about the fact that for us as Africans and for African leaders, we should be able to leverage on our mineral resources for development.
In this era of global uncertainty, Africa must exercise sovereignty over its natural resources to raise the necessary funds to ensure the well-being of its citizens. The days of parceling out vast concession areas to foreign interests for exploitation must come to an end. We'll continue to welcome foreign investment, but we must negotiate better for a bigger share of the natural resources that belong to us. And we must insist on value addition to these resources. We're tired of the continued image of poverty-stricken, disease-ridden rural communities living at the periphery of huge foreign-controlled natural resource concession areas. We're tired of having people extract the most they can from us and in return offer us the very least by way of respect, consideration, and dignity. We're tired of not being represented in ways that reveal the richness and complexity of our history or acknowledge all that we have overcome to arrive here in this liminal space of untold possibilities.
Okay, so that's President John Dramani Mahama at the UN General Assembly. But before we talk about what President Mahama said, let's listen to Awula Sewa, who says that, well, saying that forest reserves and water bodies are security zones will not suffice.
It's a step in the right direction, but what does that mean? If they are declared security zones and there are no boots on the ground to ensure that we remove the environmental terrorists, then I'm not quite sure we are moving rapidly forward. What we need is, in addition to declaring the security zones, is that nobody has any business being there, which is fantastic. Those who are actually there, who have not left, we need to remove them. We need to ensure that they leave the forest reserves, they leave the water bodies, they leave the farmlands. This will be a step in the right direction, even as there are other steps we'll take. For example, pausing all forms of small-scale mining, because in many regards, they are mining in ways that do not benefit the environment. Maybe pausing the importation of excavators, because invariably they're finding their ways to the forest reserves, even though we say we have a tracking system in place. But to come back to the security zones, need clarification as to whether we're going to have boots on the ground and they're going to go to the forest reserves, work with the forest guards and remove the environmental terrorists. At the same time, the Navy will be on the water bodies doing likewise. If this is going to be done without calling it a state of emergency, that is fair enough. We're not wedded to a declaration of emergency. We are wedded to certain urgent action being taken. The advantage of declaring a state of emergency is that it frees you to, for example, restrict movement. It frees you to get the resources you need rapidly. But if you think you can do this, be our guest. As we can see, we are being poisoned. For a number of years, we've been telling Ghanaians that there's ecocide going on. We are being poisoned. And now, look at the reports that we have had. Our foodstuff, consumer and so on and so forth, have been poisoned, as we've been saying. So there's no more time to waste. We need to arrest this before the whole of Ghana starts dropping dead. It's a step.
Okay, so that's Awula Sewa there. She says that, well, it's a step in the right direction, but then she adds a but.
Yes.
You know,
okay.
and I am wondering, what again? You know,
yes.
Government says, I am going to enforce this. There's 9 months. We're ensuring, even at that particular event where the lands minister spoke, the Director of Operations of the Presidency, Mustafa Gbandi, was there, and he said that government will deploy all security apparatus to ensure that these safety zones are protected, i.e. the forest reserves and the water bodies. And so, what else do they want?
The interesting development is that many more security personnel are being trained and co-opted into NIMOS. Last week, I saw videos and pictures were sent to me of those military and police men undergoing training, right? So what it means is that the concern of Aula, including myself, because I talked about the fact that this is a state of emergency that has been declared, specifically in forest reserves and then on water bodies, right? But then the enforcement is the next leg, which will mean that there must be boots on the ground. Yes, the boots have been trained. Many of them are being co-opted into NIMOS, right? Let's see them on the ground. And like I said, if we get this right, in the coming months, we should see the evidence clearly by the color of the water.
Exactly.
This should be, honestly, this is the point where I think all of us will say that let's allow the minister to deploy what he thinks works.
Exactly.
And let's support that and ensure that this works. Because like she said, if care is not taken, we will all drop dead. Do we want to drop dead? No, we don't.
Not.
Right?
Where do we have to go? Nowhere.
That's the point.
This is the state we have.
That's the point. That's the point. So, yes, Miracles and co who have equally been touring water bodies. That's okay.
Yes, of course. We
okay.
want a functioning opposition.
That's okay.
The now administration in opposition gave them a hot chase.
That's it.
Put them on their toes. And so we want a functioning opposition. We want people to tell the government to their face that, okay, we think you're failing here, we think we are failing here. And that is a step in the right direction. In the end, it's not just about party A or party B.
No.
It is about the ordinary Ghanaian.
Yes.
My grandmother, my grandfather, whoever will go out there to go to the market will have the mindset that I am going to purchase wholesome food.
Exactly.
Because if, as we speak, taro leaves, popularly known as kontomire, is unwholesome, if FDA is saying that there are toxins in cereals, there are toxins in turmeric, there are toxins in even some cosmetic products, imagine what we're dealing with as a country. If care is not taken, by 2 years' time, everything we consume will not be wholesome. And imagine we exporting some of our produce out there. It will be flagged, foreign exchange. See, it will threaten a lot of things.
And even now as we speak, you have no idea what market women have gone through. They've gone to purchase kontomire and many of the other vegetables. Now people are apprehensive. Nobody wants to buy, right? And that's how come you go to Agbolos in the market woman will tell you that, oh, it's not contaminated with their naked eyes. But
because
you don't use your naked eyes to tell.
How do they ascertain? They cannot.
That's because they've gone to stock up and they need to sell and nobody's buying.
Capital.
So these are the implications, right? So let's get this right. Like I said, the opposition is allowed to tour from one river to the other, from one water treatment plant to the other. The bottom line is I've always maintained that power rests with the party in power.
Yes.
As it's being deployed, deploy it. We will support you. Get it right. If you get it right and miracles go to a water body and it is clean, of what use would that visit be? You get the point? But let this spur you on to attend to the urgent matters. It's as simple as that.
Let's all help. Let's all come together. If after 3 months, after 6 months, then we can say that, okay, whatever you deployed, this measure failed.
Exactly.
What next?
Exactly.
Will you then finally declare a state of emergency as people want, even though this is a shadow state of emergency?
I get that. I get
that. Now, talking about opposition, let's delve into their matters as they head for their January 31 contest. Now, some factions are accusing the party hierarchy of unfairness owing to comments made by some members of the party, some leading members, notably their chairpersons. And the camp of Kennedy GHOne has had cause to complain. There was a release to that effect. I don't know if we have it. We can put it out there. We can put it on the screens for viewers to have a view. But once it's not ready, let's talk about it.
So Abronier started this whole thing. To be honest, after his ordeal, there were many, including myself, who sat on this platform and said, some reformation will be in order, right? We will not have to deal with the old Abronier. Maybe he's not gone to that level yet, but now it's internal. He says he controls the party album. He, as the regional chairman, controls the party album, and he will decide whose name is in there and whose name is not in there. You don't say that because who makes it into a party album, which is more or less like a party's voters register, it's not determined by somebody's whims. There's a structure. And if you meet those criteria, obviously you would then be admitted as an eligible voter in the party. Now, Kennedy Apon's camp is also alleging that Chairman Wontumi has made similar comments. The party, even before Kennedy Apon's call, on its own had issued a statement indicating that no individual wills control as to who gets to enter a voter's album, a party album, and who doesn't, right? But that has not stopped the Kennedy Apon camp from issuing a statement and
so
demanding.
This is what the party issued on its own.
Yes, Asante Regional Secretariat, and of course, that's the regional chairman. This from Wontumi.
Yeah.
This from Wontumi, debunking the allegations that the Kennedy camp makes against him, right? But of course, like I said, I heard that of Abronye on his Ohia TV directly, talking about even parliamentary candidates as who can make it and who cannot make it. Yes. There's a Ken statement, yes.
Where it says, sanction Ashanti and Bono Regional Chairman for gross anti-party conduct. Yes, that attention, of course, the statement relates to the video I talked about, where Abronye is heard and seen talking about the fact that who will determine who makes it onto the list. And are we going to play ostriches and pretend as though party chairpersons do not have a say, or do not for want of a better expression, do not put together their album? Well, they determine. Yes. So, even though it is not official, but we know that behind the scenes. So we have polling station executives, right? We have executives at the very branch levels. We have executives at the regional level. We have executives at the constituency level, right? If you talk about regional album, we also pair the amendment that the party has taken. We have founders, former MPs, former MMDCs, former ministers. And once they reside in the constituency, they make the album. It's automatic. So how will a chairman say that, for instance, if I'm a former member of parliament in a constituency, a chairman can say that because you will vote against my interests, I will not allow you to be part of the album. That becomes a problem. Because then it goes a long way to say that this had been happening. I mean, prior to these reforms. Yes, mafia tactics. You know that the constituency executives, the polling station executives, they will, for want of better expression, succumb to the chairman's request because they feel that their tenure hinges on what the party chairman says. I get you. I get you. There's always mafia. But you see, who announces mafia tactics publicly? Who announces mafia tactics publicly as we are witnessing, right? So that's where the challenge is. So the party had to come and say that, you know what, there's a system. The system will be deployed to put together an album, right? And you see, these conversations, these utterances, right, they make it difficult for the party to administer fairer and smoother process. And so I can understand the difficulty that the party is going through, reason why the party hierarchy needed to issue a statement. Nonetheless, let's see how the party handles this. Because indeed, if there's evidence that Chairman Wontumi publicly stated what the Ken's camp is alleging, and indeed there's evidence that Abronye said what he said, let's see how the party takes this up. Well, GHOne, right? Yes, GHOne. Anyway, that should do for Inside Out. But Chelsea, how far? Yes, so far. Yes. Okay, so okay, so I was asking Ibe about Chelsea and
Oh, he ran away.
Anyway,
The
that's
Blues.
time for sports chat.
Yeah, the world champions.
yeah.
They are in trouble. But at least they are better off than. But we'll talk about that later. We know ourselves.
Anyway.
But, you know, we understand that maybe Akufo-Addo has a link with Chelsea.
So?
Because, you know, one village, one dam, one district, one factory, and one game, one red card. So you can associate that with Chelsea.
I need to do that research.
Yes,
Maybe he supports Chelsea.
Because every game they pick one red card. Yes. But then we'll start off. Ladies first, Black Princesses, making us proud. And they qualified to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers yesterday. They were at the Accra Sports Stadium. They had a 2-0 win and winning on aggregate 4-0. So Black Princesses have qualified to the next round. They are set to meet South Africa, and we are so proud of them. They went away, they beat Tunisia 2-0. They came back home, another 2-0 win for the Black Princesses. So congratulations to them. All the best. The next World Cup qualifiers will be next year against South Africa. Let's move on. Lily, UDS. Yesterday, UDS was trending. Sunday morning, everyone was talking about UDS. And if you missed
Black
out...
Star saying to me, UDS, are you UDS?
You know, yesterday when we posted about UDS, some of the comments were like, they should change the Black Stars coach and bring the UDSP master. And they should add the Black Stars, just 3 players to this team. And then, because the passion that they showed on the pitch yesterday was brilliant. So the UDS team, there you see them on your screens, yesterday went to the finals of the FISU World University Football Tournament in China, and they beat the Paulista University from Brazil by 2-1. They were actually losing. They considered a goal in the early minute. First, under 10 seconds, they considered the first goal, but then they went on, got the equalizer in additional time, went to extra time, and got the goal from a corner kick, and they are champions of the world. Congratulations to UDS, making us proud. We've seen communiques from the ministry, the GFA, congratulating them. Surely we'll do something for them. They've shown that when it comes to football, they can dominate. Kumase Asante Kotoko also making us proud. It was a proud weekend for Ghanaians, and of course, they went all the way to Nigeria to beat Kwara United by a 0-0 and qualifying to the next round. They would face with that Club Athletic, we know. But then, of course, for now, they are through to the next round of the qualifiers. They got a 1-0 win, 5-3 on aggregate. And congratulations to Karim Zito. We'll tell you all about what Karim Zito has been saying on the game at 1 p.m. Well, for the champions, Viviani Gold Stars, they lost yesterday 5-0, and it means that on aggregate, they've lost 7-0 on aggregate as they lost to JS Kabili, and a sad one for the Ghanaian champions who sacked their coach on Monday after they lost 2-0. And assistant coach could not do anything. They lost in Algeria yesterday, 5-0. So on aggregate, 7-0 for the JS Kabili side. And let's head to the Ghana Premier League. It is our own league. Yesterday, some result. The Nations FC team played out a 0-0 draw with Samatex. Bando Hearts of Lions beats Bechim United by a 0-0. Vision FC, first win of the season, they beat Togo United by 2-0. Young Apostles and Dreams FC 1-0. It would continue today. It was rained off yesterday. Karela United 1, Mediama Sporting Club 0 in there. Let's look at how the table is. Bando Hearts of Lions, 3 out of 3. Yes, we don't joke in the Volta region, trust me. They are top with 9 points. Karela United second. Accra Hearts of Folk, third with 7 points. Mediama, that's good news for Lily, I believe. Mediama,
I know.
Fourth with 6. Diana sit. And then, of course, bottom 3, because of time, 11 wonders. After 3 games, have picked 1 point. Dreams FC, they were losing that game yesterday. Maybe they can get a draw today. You never know. And then Brekum Chelsea, 18th place with no points in
Does it mean that those 3 they're headed to relegation?
Yes, but early days yet.
Dreams say they should go.
Oh. Why? You have an agenda against them?
They should go.
Why?
What are they still doing in the league?
But they are dreaming.
Come on, Sam. Where are they? Yes, they need to go home and dream better and then come back.
This
but
agenda.
at least has to focus on number 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unbeaten.
Bonani.
And you know, the boxing issues that we've had in recent times.
Yeah, the death of
the sports
some
minister
athletes,
is going to inaugurate boxing normalization committee. You remember when?
Where's the committee? Oh,
yes. So today it will happen.
This one, just look into it. I mean,
No.
are there not competent people at the various, what do you call it?
The
bodies?
GBA, yes. So that is why he believes that we need a normalization committee, just like what happened with football. So today at the ministry's conference room, the committee will be inaugurated. We expect the likes of the man you see on your screens, His Excellency Amaka Amatafio, to lead the committee to normalize things, so that we'll bring boxing back to its standard here in Ghana. So that should do it for the sports chat. Do join Monica and Joe at 1 p.m. We'll bring you all the highlights, everything you need to know about the Ghana Premier League, JS Kabylie, and of course, the Blues Chelsea, because they are suffering. Ivy's here. Ivy.
Yes, I am.
I told you the last time.
Oh, yes. See. Chelsea, regardless of our challenges, we started the league better than we've ever done within the last 4 years, right? So, yes, I understand.
But what champions?
Don't worry.
I thought that the reset agenda was affecting Chelsea until...
It's one game, one red card.
No,
one village, one down.
We get that. And the coach is seeking to blame the players. I disagree totally. I disagree. Now, red cards are part of the game. When you are a man down as a coach, what tactics do you deploy?
Sure.
Consistently he's gotten it wrong. And I think you should take the blame for that. Right? Instead of seeking to defend, right? How about you attack? Score and let's score.
Okay. So you are explaining.
Yes.
Ask for.
No, but Man United.
Just a point ahead of us. Just 1 point. And you know your next game.
Against Liverpool. And what is it? Really? Don't worry at all.
Another red card incoming.
We'll come back to this conversation after that game. Thank you very much, Jones. That should do for sports chats. Let's now look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. Okay, so we begin with the Custodian newspaper, who says, stop reckless marriages and giving birth. Hey. Wow, that was very harsh. Giving birth by heart, Islamic cleric was. Hey, that's very harsh.
Yes, that's the head of the Al Sunnah wal Jama'ah. He's known for being blunt, and he's right. He's admonishing the people, my people, in the Zongos. Yes, reckless marriages and giving birth by heart. Recently, there was a story of a young girl who's been married off in Kumasi, and people were defending that. You can't defend that.
And growing up, I mean, I grew up in the Zongo, and I saw a lot of young people who were being given out for marriages, and I mean, it was absurd. But we normalized it, and I think that if we can do away with some of these entrenched cultural practices, I mean, we can have a better society.
I agree.
Let children be children.
That's the point. That's the point. It shouldn't be difficult. Yes, and let them get the education. See, what do the laws of Ghana say? 16 years consent, 18 years marriage. Respect that. How difficult should that be?
Simple.
It's as simple as that.
Ghanaians now drink galamsey polluted water. Miracles Abuaji decries. Where? Okay, maybe, I mean, those who fetch from the streams. NPP promises free, fair presidential primary. Denmark margins build alliance in Africa's digital ID drive. Build global business giants in Africa. KGL boss to African leaders, which is very, very important.
Yeah, sometimes they will build them and then they kill them too. Yeah, kneecapping.
You know?
Yeah. The Daily Graphic this morning, Galamsey fight, water bodies, forest reserves, now security zones. ECG terminates 202 contracts for underperformance. And they also include contracts for supply of cables. Yes, and of course,
about 300 of them.
Yes, we told over 1,000 of them have equally been tracked, traced, and recovered. Right. Mansa Neti Olins Lindsay wins top CIMG awards, and First Sky Balls rally support for 15 million Ghana cedis SU campsite. That is it for the Daily Graphic.
The Daily Democrat says Jakpa finds Godfrey Dame for the truth, petition CID for prosecution, Trasako assures stability in ongoing Temalan dispute, KGL boss champions public-private partnership for growth. PTA crucial for education. Lands Minister orders ruthless crackdown on illegal miners. GSA holds stakeholders meeting. That's on the front page of the Daily Democrat.
The Daily Guide this morning. Build global business giant Alex Dade charges Africa. No one has monopoly over album compilation, NPP. And Denmark commends Margins ID Group for digital drive. Mampontin Chief Seals Prophet Roger over doom prophecy. And of course, they say Daily Guide resumes Saturday publication. That is it for the Daily Guide this morning.
The Ghanaian Times says Sunyani Library left to rot. Weeds, reptiles take over building. You know one thing about we Ghanaians? We like to start beautiful projects, ambitious ones. We lay out plans. And then we're either stuck in the middle or upon completion, putting in the adequate infrastructure to make it useful is always a challenge. I wonder why we do that to ourselves.
I agree. And this is a library that's supposed to serve the people of Sunyani, the students there. The structure is at this level. What should it take for us to complete this? I'm told there's a new guy in charge at the Ghana Library Board, Al-Hassan Zibrim. This should be his first assignment. He should just get to work and get this address.
You see, and it goes a long way to affect our economy.
Most
because
definitely.
It means that we have to spend more.
That's the point.
U.S. lifts visa restrictions on Ghana. We'll talk about that on the breakfast review as well. Some members of the minority have raised questions on what it costs Ghana. There are some news portals who are reporting that U.S. visa restrictions are overturned for deportees.
Yes,
you know, there are a lot of
deportees.
But the
minister
Ministry
says no. There's no quid pro quo, as they say. It's not that we accepted the deportees just so the sanctions will be lifted, right? But he makes a very interesting disclosure as well that there are negotiations for the 15% tariff imposed on Ghana to equally be reviewed, and also AGUA, which is now virtually dead, affecting our government sector. There are engagements in that regard. I think those ones are more important to me than the visas.
UDS crowned FISU World Cup champs. Well, we told you. Black Star Centennial. UDS has done it. WAPCO awards 1.9 million CD's tertiary student scholarship. Denmark hails Ghana's digital ID success, deepens ties with Margins Group. That's it for the Ghanaian Times front page this morning.
The Chronicle this morning. Denmark lost Margins' digital footprint in Africa, cites Ghana card. Ada Bedeku's chieftaincy dispute resolved. Amanate College family is the rightful heir to the throne. And quotation for this morning, I think Romans 14:19. Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace. And then something. I can't see.
I'm sure that is in relation to the chieftaincy.
Yes. So read Romans 14:19. You see what God says there.
That is the word of the Lord. Anyway, let's move on. The new Crusading Guide lies crushed Dubik Mahama stands tall as ECG traces all missing containers, retrieves over 1,000 from the port. GPRT exposed in CMB Market Row. Developer produces genuine documents confirming lease. Estutifi Southern Peace son, traders clash. Ibrahim Dauda accused of intimidation and harassment. Comet Estate under fire over attempt to overturn court ruling on Brekuso lands. Galamsey crisis, Ghanaians being forced to drink polluted water. Dennis Miracles of YJ. Strong tidal wave sinks 28-member boat at Elmina Fishing Harbor. Oh my goodness. That's so sad. Anyway, that's the front page of the New Crusading Guide.
The Daily Statesman this morning. True party strength lies in grassroots. That's according to Brian Echampong. And KGL boss, Africa must rethink its development model. Galamsey crisis escalates. Disastrous effect on public health looms. And lawyer, Yoko's deception in Edubuahin's trial cancerous to nation building. And NPP commits to fair flag-bearer election processes. That's it for the Daily Statesman.
The Ghanaian publisher says Gapua Tefo DG versus Port Director. KGL chair pushes Africa to build global business giants. NPP slams reckless chairman, water crisis looms, Senyor Hosi warns.
The news center data shows Galamsey worsens under NDC government. That's according to Dennis Miracle Sabuaje. MTN cash sold for 9.7 million Ghana cedis digital hub for UDS. Yes, so kudos to MTN for that. US lift visa restrictions as Ghana accepts deportees. That's the linkage there that many are drawing. The minister says no, there's no linkage. Denmark margins deepen ties. And as Empire FM, Sekosi Sen wins 4th CIMG radio program of the year award. Yeah, that's it for the news center.
That should do for the newspapers this morning. We take a break here. When I return with my guests for the breakfast review. Please stay tuned in. The show, this is still GHOne here on GHOne TV, your perfect morning companion. My name is Lily Mohammed. It's time for the breakfast review. My guests have joined me. My guest this morning, Vera Lamzi, is Member of Parliament for Chana Paga. Dr. Dixon Adumakukisi is former Member of Parliament for Anyaso Chum. He speaks for the Brian Champong campaign. And then Richard Suma is a marketing consultant and a member of the Movement for Change. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we are all fine. We are alive. We are grateful to God.
It's good to see all of you.
Yes.
Okay, let's just dive into the conversation this morning. We're talking about our natural resources. Well, prior to President Mohammed's speech at the UN on African leaders and Africa in general using our natural resources for our development, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources was in Sunyani, where he mentioned that the forest reserves, water bodies are now security zones, and so if you're a trespasser, you'll be seen as an enemy of the state. President Mohammed is saying that it's using natural resources for our own development. Is this a step in the right direction, looking at what has been done over the weekend?
All right. Since you're looking at me, I'm sure I'm to go first.
Yes.
So, first of all, let me commend Ghana's media. I think, by and large, the media fraternity is doing better in terms of information dissemination. But let me put on record, I've said this before. Natural resources, very dear to our nation. And I've always been of the opinion that comparative advantage-wise, that is what we have as a country. And we're not doing enough in terms of the technology for extraction. And I think that we rather need to quadruple our investment into mining so that we do it in a very responsible way. And then we train those who are now doing it the wrong way so that we can mine and protect still our waters. Some may misunderstand me, but I want to repeat this, that the people you find in those security zones will not be the people financing the activity. So it still begs the question, Anabua, Honorable Minister, and then Mr. President, you can define the security zones, but I really think that, the Chinese just, as it is, condemned their former Minister of Agric. He's going into jail, probably facing a firing squad or something for monies he got, not from government chest, but as donations. Okay? I want the Mahama administration to arrest and punish one top financier. I mean, based on the Agric Minister's commentary, which I heard recently, is that, they've had a eureka moment where they've come to that realization that some very connected, very beloved members of the MPP are involved in the galamseying. And he begs the question, it is a very difficult thing to go after people that you know. But that is what has to be done now. So the rhetoric, the plenty talk is enough. Show us one arrested, prosecuted in a court of, appropriate jurors who will not be influenced. And then we can begin the conversation of doing all other things. If you go shooting the boys and girls on the site, trust me, they are not the true culprits. So I think that it's nice to label these as security zones. When they do arrest those people, please track them to who finances them. That is what I want to see. That aspect of illegal mining has to be addressed. And until we really do that, and people say that, now I'm not in government, so I am talking the way I'm talking, and I find it rather disheartening. Enough of the politicking, and I've also said here that at this point in time, the president of the state is, as we have it, Mohammed, and he's the one we all trouble. And unfortunately, it so happens that the indices for checking the quality of our water bodies has been further damaged over the past 8 months, more so than in the past. So the trouble is that under the NPP administration, yes, some measures were being taken. If it was not even enough, the quote-unquote turbidity, the traces of metals in our foods were not as now. Yeah. So the gravity, the enormity of the challenge under the NDC administration in the past 8 months is unprecedented. And for that reason, I think that if there was a honeymoon period for galamseying, it needs to stop. And me, speaking in local language, make kwesikisi, I'm pleading and demanding from the president that, one, until we make some scapegoats, people will take us for a ride. And I'm still reiterating that it is not the state of emergency that matters most, but to give people that sense of, I will be arrested and prosecuted if my entourage, my people I work with, are found in those basins. And until that is done, it's going to be, the same old thing. We're doing this, we're commissioning this. But listen, we are post the death of 8 gallant men who died in the line of duty to reduce, and as it is, put in the past galamsey. And I want to see actions that are very profound, actions that are in line with the fact that we remember those 8 lives that we lost, the Dr. Omani Boames, the Mutalas that we lost. And I think that with the greatest of respect, we need to take some very bold decision and arrest those who are financing. Because listen, if I go dig up gold and I can't sell, or if it takes me 21 days, around the 15th day, if I'm not eating, I cannot continue. And the equipments, how are they finding mercury? How are they getting the cyanide? Mind you,
means that there are suppliers on demand.
These are, things that are heavily controlled substances. We know what happened in the Apiati.
Yeah.
Heavily loaded chemicals which were being moved. And none of us here can have access to those chemicals on the market unless you are very well-to-do. To have mercury in the quantums they use on these sites, you have to have a very solid network. So I think that the likes of Yoko, rather than going after people who are not damaging our water bodies, should invest in investigating and finding out the culprits and name and shame them, and so that we can know that yes, finally we are being very serious. So and I must say, the president's commentary at the UN buttresses what I was saying here. That listen, even Donald Trump, who is the president of the let me say one of the biggest nations in the world, admits that minerals in the earth are now still, the major powerful thing. It's not the iPhones and things. they all run off these minerals. Pentium, Intel, all of them run off our minerals. I think, and Elon Musk is aware of this, and that's what he's benefiting from. A lot of people are unaware that, Elon Musk actually, his rise to fame is the fact that his parents were into, mining, and they hold heavy mining concessions in South Africa. So that is what really catapulted him into his wealth now. But be it as it may, I think that Africa is finally rediscovering that truly what we are sitting on matters, even now in a very modern world. And for that reason, it's about time that we bargain well for what is due us. And this also comes to the fact that we need very good lawyers, to negotiate on our behalf as a country, so that those royalties should be relooked at, those concessions and how you acquire them. I mean, look at the hula baloo about Volta and what's happening. I mean, these are unacceptable. And I think that it's about time that we take it serious. And I think that, it's quite, I know this is not a topic here, but looking at the timing of Mohammed's brother's, sudden Volta concession agreement and its many noise, I think the timing is just unacceptable. And it looks a bit suspicious by virtue of the fact that these things, though they were in workings before now, are now being prosecuted or being implemented in this fashion, more of like a takeover because my brother is president. So that's me from an investment standpoint. That's how I'm looking at it. So I really worry. And salt mining still is important in this country. We have, I think, in the world, the 5th biggest deposit of salt. And you and I know that people are importing salt, which doesn't make sense. How do you import salt in this country? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So to conclude, it was nice to see Honorable Minister for Lands and Forestries make this pronouncement that there are security zones, yada yada yada. But I want to rather
will
hear
this suffice
an arrest
for the declaration of a state of emergency?
The declaration would help us as a nation, and this one, please, the MPP has had that stand from when we're in government, and we're still here. And these are the reasons. There are many mining companies who are doing the right thing. And when you are punishing, you don't punish those who are doing the right thing as opposed to the few bad apples. Go after the bad apples. Let those who are doing things within the appropriate regulations conduct their business. Because our currency depends on the minerals. Our inflation, our economy largely depends on the minerals. Government still has to meet its obligations in terms of debt. Government needs to meet its obligations in terms of revenue to manage this country. The lights being on are largely because of the minerals that we have in this country. If the minerals are not managed well, our lights will not be on. And mind you, all the gas is also minerals from the earth. So these are things that go hand in hand. So the concept or the idea of requiring or needing a state of emergency, I think that arrest those motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
that's too strong for a morning television.
Forgive my language, like I said. Yeah.
Richard, let me come to you.
First of all, I would like to say a very good morning to all your cherished viewers, to my senior co-panelist, yourself, your beautiful self, and entire management and production team of GHOne Media this morning, and to Honorable Alan Kojo-Chiramante and to all the Movement for Change fraternity. I'll position my argument or debate in two folds.
Okay.
One, the President of the Republic went to the United Nations General Assembly to make a speech. And over the years, we've been going to the United Nations General Assembly to make all the flowery speeches. We do all the manner of proposals. We do the recommendations. We've been talking about our plight, the challenges we face as Africans and as maybe a country called Ghana. But the question that begs for an answer is that ever since we have been going to the United Nations General Assembly, what has been the products of it? What has been the outcome? What have we really benefited from United Nations General Assembly? So the president going there to go and talk about reparation, restitution, and talk about Africa, the African youth, and all these things, to what end? It doesn't make any sense. We should stop going to the United Nations General Assembly because it's an exercise in futility. Because what is Africans' contribution to the United Nations administrative functions? We are not putting a dime on the table, so we don't have a say. We only go there to join the folks, to be part of the gallery, and to be part of the optics, to suggest that we are part of the global community. Therefore, when it's a UN General Assembly, we must also be there. And don't forget, Africa, we have been sidelined in the United Nations activities because we are not contributing anything. We are not putting anything on the table. That is how come several countries can come together, pass a resolution, and all those things. Once America decides to veto it, it ends in a dustbin. Because U.S. is the heaviest financier of the administrative functions of the United Nations. That is why when UN cough, when America cough, the UN ceases to function because any little thing they do affects the United Nations Assembly. So now, if you are talking about minerals, we have never owned minerals. We have only been caretakers of minerals in Africa, especially in Ghana. Do you own a mineral? You have never owned anything. You are only a caretaker. Because we have demonstrated over the years that we are not capable of doing anything on our own. We are sitting back and expect the white man to come and extract your resources and give you a chicken change out of it. And over the years, what mechanisms are we putting in place? We have Takwa University of School and Mines, where we train our people into mining engineering, geological engineering, and all these things. How are we harnessing this talent, the energies that are being produced from these schools? How are we harnessing it so that we can have a gold mine which is owned by Ghana, and all the expertise working in that gold mine are Ghanaians? When Kwame Nkrumah established the Ghana Airways, the first pilot who flew the flight to US was a black man. Because he wanted to demonstrate to the world that the black man is equally capable of thinking, reasoning, radical thinking, to be able to take his own destiny into his hands. But here lies the case, we don't own anything. So, if you are talking about we harnessing our resources for our growth, how are you harnessing it? And when we are also going to negotiate with these foreign conglomerates who come and do the investment in the mining space, we go there with our hands tied between our legs, and then we go there begging because it looks like we cannot do anything unless the white man comes to do something for us. So I am telling the leadership of Africa, especially Ghana president, that we have never owned anything and we are only caretakers of it. Before the bond of 1844 was signed, when the white men came and come and tell us that we should allow them to govern us, those days, our grand-grandparents, they get the gold, they put it under their bed. They don't even know what to do with it. Sometimes back in the days, I've been told that even gold, when rain falls, you can see gold. Yeah, gold we didn't even know what to do with the gold. We have no idea. So it is like we are not harnessing the energies and the talent of the people to build what we call synergy. Because let me tell you, even before an airplane will fly, it tosses, it runs, it gathers momentum and fly. Yeah. That is what we call synergy. But at the end of the day, as a country, we don't have the synergy. We are not able to galvanize our people, to keep everybody in line, for us to know that this is what we want to do. And we must train our manpower to be able to meet the demands of the day. So if the president is talking about we harnessing our natural resources, I want to tell the president that until we can have a state-owned mining company where we know that 100% of the gold or the diamond or the lithium or whatever we extract from the soil is being absolutely owned by Ghanaians. Go to Sudan. The oil and all other things they define in Sudan. Sudan owns about 50% in it. Ghana, we have less than 20% in all our mineral resources, including the oil. So it's like we are just a bunch of beggars who, at the end of the day, we are not capable of standing on our feet to demand what is actually ours, because we have never been able to do anything on our own. Then again, the president is talking about restitution. I keep insisting that, look, when a white man came, yes, he collaborated with our own chiefs, our own family members, friends and folks, to be able to arrest our people, capture them. No matter how inhumane the treatment were, our own people were part of the collaborators. The way we are today as Ghanaians, with our mindset of hatred, divisiveness, pull him down attitude. If slavery should return today, there are Ghanaians who would prefer to sell themselves and become slaves in the Western land than to be in Ghana. Families who sell their members, chiefs who sell their members. So at the end of the day, we should stop blaming the white man entirely for our problem. We like blaming everybody except ourselves. We are not a serious group of people. Kwame Nkrumah demonstrated that to us, that as a black man, God has also given you the same mental capacity, not only to become a lawyer, to become a doctor, to become an engineer, but it should be a revolutionary thinking people, so that we can be able to think like how the Asian tigers do. Now, when you go to GHOne, the blocks are going there. Asia goes there as a block. Europe is there. America is there. Africa, how are we going there? We go there as individuals and go and speak all the nice English and go back. And at the end of the day, we are not fighting that we should be given a slot on the Security Council. The way we are divided among ourselves, which country is going to be given that mandate to be part of the Security Council? Is it Ghana? Is it Nigeria? Is it South Africa? So we don't build consensus. We don't trade among ourselves. We don't do anything. And then again, the last part of it is that when we are talking about ECOWAS as a small bloc, when was the last time you heard that ECOWAS was proposing that we should have a common denomination? I think they proposed a name called ECO or something. Over 30, 40 years, we've not been able to achieve just that because there are several disagreements among our leaders. So we are telling the African leaders, especially the President of the Republic of Ghana, that enough of the talk. Even though he went there, he spoke nicely, spoke about the Israel-Gaza situation and all these other elements. He has spoken well about it. We are proud of him. But we are saying that all those things is a talk only and no what? Action. And then the last point, we are talking about declaring some places security zone, water body security zone, and forest security zone. Let me tell you, it's just a drop in the ocean. Because like what Doc is saying, the people who are there damaging the forest and the rivers with impunity, we are not punishing them hard enough. Why? Is China not part of the Human Rights Charter? Why are they in the process of even hanging or killing a former minister for taking some chicken change perhaps from somebody? They want to punish them enough for it to be a deterrent that don't ever what? Try. Because if this is how the China did in the past, would you come and meet the China of today? So they are telling you that we will not entertain any form of corruption. But here, we like to entertain corruption. We like to pat ourselves on the shoulder. We like to praise ourselves. We want to say we are doing best. The argument is that what are the variables we are using to measure the success of the fight against Galamsey? What are the key performance indicators that we are using to measure the fight against Galamsey? The minister was saying the last time that they have arrested many more people than the NPP did. Are we using the total number of arrests as the benchmark for measuring the success of the fight? Obviously no. We must look at the turbidity level. How many of the forests that have been damaged have we been able to reclaim? Even if we reclaim it, what is the reforestation program? What are we doing to make sure that the chamfan that are being produced in this country, we put a complete halt to it? What are we doing to ensure that at the end of the day, we get our river bodies cleaned up? If it is some engineering mechanism that we are going to deploy to redirect our rivers, to make sure that the source of the river, we channel it properly so that we will be able to have our water bodies get back to their original state, that will be better. So to conclude, we are telling the Minister of Energy, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources that yes, he alone cannot fight this fight and win it. It must be a consensus. Everybody must come on the table. The chief.
Everybody being?
The chiefs, the communities, the media, the citizens, the clergy, the military, everybody, all hands on decks. That is the only way we can fight. If not so, I can bet my last penny that we'll be having this Galamsey conversation the next 10 years, 2035. Ghana will still be talking about Galamsey issues. And by 2035, do you know what would have happened to the river bodies? Now we are going to mine on the Black Volta because we've also given that concession. The Volta Lake is the only river body that we have that we can hold on to. And here lies the case. We have also given that concession to somebody to go and mine on the Black Volta. So obviously, we are going to start polluting that one. So I keep saying, and it is an early morning yet, but because the fight is supposed to be fought by the executives, and they are not doing so, I keep saying that no man, no matter how hard, no matter how wicked, no matter how strong a man is, you cannot hold your own testicles with a fist hand. You cannot squeeze it with a fist hand. That is how come I am saying that the president...
Children are watching us.
Oh, yes. That's why I use in English. Testicle is part of the human body. The children are supposed to know what the testicle is. So you cannot squeeze it with a fist hand because you cannot do that. That is how come the executives are not able to win the fight against Galamsey because they know they'll be fighting each other, and the people who are financing them are the ones who will be going after. That's why they cannot squeeze it hard enough for us to get the results we want. I rest my case.
Anyway, Alanzi, good morning once again.
Good morning, Lily. First of all, I would like to say good morning to your cherished viewers. And I would like to say big good morning to the people of Chana Paga constituency. His Excellency talked about so many things there. He gave a very nice and beautiful speech. But once you are limiting us to the mineral resources, I will stick to that. But the fact is that what His Excellency said, I think this morning is being taken out of context by my brothers, because he talked about how and why we should use the resources to the benefit of Africa as a whole, and Ghana inclusive. You see, the resources that we are getting from mineral resources now, we are consuming it more than using it for capital investment for tomorrow's sake. That is why he's calling for that. And you see, the resources, for us to benefit from it, we need to set in with value addition. Be it gold, be it the crude oil, be it our diamonds, be it the bauxite, whatever. We export it raw, and it is affecting us as a country. So to me, what I deduced from his speech is that we need to add value, make sure that we process, either we get final or semi-final products before we export. And he talked about, what I deduced again from it is that we need to diversify our resources when it comes out of mineral resources. Because we are so much dependent on a single source or commodity for the development of our country. So I think he was talking in that direction, because for now, if there's no oil today, what will we use in running our budget? What will we use in supporting our budget and run our country? So he was talking about that. And he's trying to tell us that we have to make sure, I talked about diversification, we have to make sure that the resources that comes out of the mineral that we have, we can make sure that we get serious infrastructure from it. Be it our road network, very bad. Economically, it's not even good for the country. For instance, today, we sit here, we have a border, we have a landlocked country, landlocked countries around us. Burkina, when you go to the north, Burkina, Mali, Niger are all landlocked countries. They depend on us from the port. Why can't we use our oil resources to construct railway from Tema to Paga? where we can have cargo trains taking the containers from Tema to Paga, which will get additional revenue from it. Instead of allowing the Burkina cars, the Mali cars, the Niger cars to come all the way to Tema. They don't know the regulations that are on our road. You see the mess that they've been causing always. So I think it's in that direction. And when Doc and Co are there, they will take the tow booths out. They will be running free. They won't pay anything. So it's better they come and stay at the border there and pick. Meanwhile, we can get the transportation from Tema to Paga as a revenue for the country. We can make sure we use the revenue to stabilize our energy sector. Today, Dumso, tomorrow, no Dumso. We can use the resources from our minerals to seriously solve that problem once and for all, so that other industries in the country can grow very well. Water supply is a problem. When it rains, you go black volta, white volta, white volta, all will flood and displace people. It's high time we harvest water in this country. Can't we harvest water in this country? We can. That is what Burkina is doing every day or every year. They will open Bagre Dam and will be flooded. We can also harvest water instead of allowing it to go waste. And these are the resources that we can use. When we harvest water and we have bigger dams and many dams, dry season irrigation will be very, very important, and it will be profitable for the country. We can use these resources to upgrade our legal system, so that they talked about somebody, an official in China being prosecuted and stuff. We can use it to establish and empower our judicial system, whereby judges will not go for goods. They will be adequately paid. They will be catered for. You will not go to our courts. Even in Accra here is better. Go to even Bolga regional court. You go, widows are not there. Nothing. You go and sit there as if you've gone to the market to sit in one butcher house. You see, we can use these resources to develop our sector, so that Supreme Court judges and will not be, our chief justices will not be using our money for per diem for other people that they are not supposed to cater for. They will be having their own resources to do that, which will develop our country very well. And you see, when we are talking of mineral resources, oil is a major part. Oil is part of it, and it's a major one. You see, President is not always talking. He's not only talking about it. He has started it in Ghana here. That is why this time we amended the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. We amended it and made sure that out of the ABFA, the money that goes to ABFA, 95% of it is supposed to go to the to go and support what's the name, the big push, which is about infrastructure, like I said it initially. So the 95% of it is supporting ABFA, which is very good for the country. Soon, all of us, myself and you, I can come and say, Doc, Lily, movement for change. People, bring your people all, so that we ride and go to Kumasi and come back. That will be a double lane to Kumasi. That will be very beautiful for us. Our children will come and inherit. Generations will come and praise us with it. So that is what President Mohammed is trying to say. And he has started it already by giving the 95% to the ABFA to support the big push. And we've given 5% to the district assemblies. So you realize that the district assemblies, the 5% that is given to them, went to them with guidelines. Build chips compound, to build schools like this number of schools, build this, take care of local roads. So it's about infrastructure, so that it will develop this country for us. But I have a problem still with the whole mineral. I said it here earlier. I thought that you people would take it on and let's discuss it as a country. Is that I believe that the Stabilization Fund and the Ghana Heritage Fund that we get from our oil revenue, that we go and save it outside this country for the Stabilization Fund, it seems, is for 2% profit, and the Ghana Heritage is for 2.5%. How can we do this? Claiming that we are reserving this money for our children that are not yet born. Fair enough, we can invest. You see the double standard around it. That was why I said the other time, I told you people will pick it up and we'll talk about it. How can you go and borrow money outside this country with huge interest? Meanwhile, the number of years where some loans will become due 50, 30 years to come. We are borrowing on our children to come and pay. And we are saving money somewhere for them to come and take. Then we are telling them that they should come and take that money and go and pay for the debt that we are accumulating for them. So let with me, even the Stabilization Fund and the Ghana Heritage Fund, that's when we deplete our oil resources, they will combine it and it becomes Ghana Wealth Fund or something like that. That's the name, something Wealth Fund. Why can't we invest it in Ghana, in our local banks? Why should we go and invest it in somebody's country? Why can't we take the resources and build infrastructure, even if it is tourism? Today, everybody, even if Dubai, they deplete their oil resources today, tourism alone will take care of the economy. Mm-hmm. So it is only important for us to use and invest our resources that comes from our mineral sector for the development of Africa, especially, I will be talking on Ghana. For Ghana, we need to use it and develop the country very well. And we have to invest, we have to come out with capital investment, which will help all of us today, will help our children tomorrow. My brother talked about the 1844 bond. Mm-hmm. It is true. When you read around it, the 1844 bond was just about, the whole idea behind it was that the whites wanted to mold their way of life into us. Mm-hmm. That is the whole benefit, and to make sure that they will take whatever resources that we have. Mm-hmm. Today, we are so lazy that in this country, you see, you talked about we getting wells, oil wells, and exploiting. You see, we sit down and look at the cost that goes into it, because it is very expensive for you to go and do exploration. We are thinking that the white man will come and say that, okay, I want to take the rates. As an entrepreneur, if you are not ready to take rates, then make sure that you are not ready to get resources. They will come and invest their money, do the oil, do the exploration, do everything, whatever that is necessary for them to do. They will do and get the oil. What do you expect that they will give to us? Definitely, they are going to give some small amount of percentage to us, because they came in and took a risk, which we decided not to take. Okay. So I realize you are trying to cut me, but the reparation that President talked about was just for the whites or the Western world to undo the wrongs that they've done to us, but not necessarily paying us or something of that nature. But today, my brother said something that I really enjoyed. I will conclude with that one. Is that slavery today, when they say they are going to enslave people and send them outside this country, I can tell you that most of our youth will run away. And that is because strategically, we are rich in this country even more than the whites. Your iPhone that you are holding, you bought it cash, am I lying? Mm-hmm. Go outside there, America. The phones, the tablets, the cars, everything is on debt. They take it on high pitches. But in this country, we buy everything, cash down. Why will our youth be running outside to look for jobs that are not better? Because we could have done better. We could have been paying our people better. Okay. And I'm sure when we pay our people better, they will not run outside this country. Thank you very much.
Let me take a break here. When I return, we'll talk about U.S. visa restrictions lifted and then what it means for Ghana. What did we have to trade off? I'm back shortly. Still the breakfast review on GH today, and my name is Lily Mohammed. My guests are still here, Dr. Dixon Adumako Kisi, Richard Suma, and Bila Alamzi. Let's talk about the U.S. lifting of the ban restrictions on Ghana, and many are questioning, what did it cost the state? What did we have to negotiate for? Did we have to accept the deportees in exchange for visa restrictions being lifted? Let me start with you, Alamzi. Is that what we did as a country?
Lily, This is a controversial topic. You should have given to Doc.
No, I mean, is your government in power?
Then I will talk and reserve 5 minutes so that when they finish.
No, I want to find out from you.
Yes.
What did it cost us as a nation? Was it a deportee arrangement?
Yeah, Lily, I still don't have much information on it. I tried looking for reasons, but minister said he will bring a report out, and he will still come and communicate to us on it. But for now, I am forced to believe that it was a diplomatic arrangement that went on or that took place, and there was a successful outcome that our 3 months single entry visa should be taken off so that we can now set in with 5 years multiple entry. And you see, I don't blame US. They are a country and they have laws.
Right.
For instance, we send students there. They go and study. Some are even unborn to make sure that they've signed agreement with the country that when they finish, they will come back.
They will return, yeah.
But
and
they
put
will
their
not.
knowledge to good use.
Then when they finish, they don't come back. They have every right that when you overstay your visa, they can decide to take you off. And if we cannot control our students, we cannot orient them when they are leaving, that when you finish, try and come back home and do the necessary arrangement to go back. Then they will be forced to make decisions that will not favor us. And you see, Ghana, we have a problem. Imagine we sponsor students to go to America and study nothing.
What do you mean by they study nothing?
You see, we have universities in this country.
We do, clearly, sir.
We are supposed to sponsor students to go to the Western world or outside this country and study what we don't have in this country.
Okay. So they can put it to better use when they return.
Yes, if you go to America to go and you spend our scarce resources that we have, we spend it on you. You go to America and study masters in political science. Meanwhile, we can't do it here. Are we not empowering the universities outside there than ours? That is what we are doing. So to me, some of the scholarships that we give them to go there and study nothing. Because if you can study marketing here and we sponsor you to go to UK and study marketing, then we've done nothing. And it has become a worry to this country. So I know there is arrangement going on that when we return to Parliament, I'm sure it will come to Parliament, that if it is not a course that is not done in Ghana, you will not be offered scholarship to go and study abroad.
Okay.
You can't be offered the same scholarship, but you must study in Ghana. Imagine we paying $10,000 to people to go to London and study. You pay the same $10,000 to Legon. They will definitely reinvest it in the economy. So it is only fair that we look at it that way. I cannot begrudge Donald Trump for coming out with such harsh decisions, but it is important decisions to them because they are protecting their country, and you cannot be in the country without a valid visa. We are talking about Trump, even in Africa. Africa, that we say Africa, unite, one Africa. We require visas to go to other countries in Africa. When you are there, you don't have visa, they return you. Meanwhile, we need to have a borderless Africa where I can live here and go to South Africa without a visa, where somebody can leave Burkina Faso and go to Morocco without a visa. So I think if we really need to reset, we have to reset ourselves first in Africa if we want to make sure that visas are very fair to us. We as Africans need to make sure that we make Africa borderless before we complain of other people maltreating us because of visas. And I'm sure when we empower our people very well here, they might not even go outside there and be crying of visa. There are young men in this country that when you give them American visa, they will not go. What are they going to do there? No. And I will also encourage the youth that, you see, some of the works they go there to do, we know the pay is not good here. Government should step up. But they should also be ready to work in Africa based on this. Because there are some people, the works they go outside and they are ready to do. When you even give them in Ghana here, they will not do.
Yeah, because of the remuneration.
Yes, that is why I said government also needs to step up. But we should also be ready to work in our... Because Ghana, you can be in Ghana for 1 year, nobody will ask you for a document. Am I lying? Nobody will ask you for a document. But you be in America, even if they see you. Racism is everywhere today. We cannot take any country out. Racism is there. They are even suffering there. Look at sometimes the trauma they go through before getting to the Western world. Last week there was a video where a boat capsized and they were together using ties.
That's right.
Yes, you understand. The stress they go through is very, very appalling. But as leaders, I think we need to also set up. Because if the country is safe, if the country is good, our youth will not be running and they will not be taking such risks.
Very true.
Doc, I know there's no reason behind the 5-year, the lifting of the 3 months visa single entry.
You're presupposing that's what I'm saying.
So, I beg, that is it. Don't say what you don't have facts over. For Mr. Richard, I know he will not say anything. Thank you.
Are you lobbying?
Has he successfully lobbied you?
No, he attempted.
Okay.
Well, to me, there are other aspects of this issue that we must look at it critically. A 3 months, 5 years visa, it is not none of my business. America has been exploiting us over the decades. Do you know how many Ghanaians apply for visa in a day and they get refused? Some, you go to the embassy, they only look in your face and ask you, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to Las Vegas. What is it? It's a conference. They will not say anything again. They will only give you back your passport. So they have been abusing us. So it is high time we also let them understand that, yes, they have the right. It is their country. They can decide who should come, how many years they should stay, and all these things. Why should that be our problem? You see, because here we love there over than here. That is why people are crying foul when the 5 years has been reduced to what? To 3 months. If really we have developed Ghana suitable enough, beautiful enough, with everything at our disposal, why should we be bothered about going to America? We should only go to America for 1 day, 2 days, and come back. Or for a business trip, go and come back. Because here, we have designed the system to be working against ourselves. Look, Ghana, you can walk for about 2-3 hours looking for a place, a beautiful place to just go and rest. A nice place to just sit for about 30 minutes to refresh yourself and go zero. We live in a country where you can have an entire community without a playground, without a place for recreation. We don't have anything for children. Look at F1 Sutherland Park, where we claim is children's park. Oh, Ghana, it's a pity, right? Look at the children's park. And these are the people we are borrowing money for them to come and pay 30 years to come. We are not giving them an ambient environment to even grow as children. We are punishing them as if they are living in a hell-called country, Ghana. So we are not thinking right. So this issue of this visa lifting from 3 months back to 6 months, this flip-flop, there must be something. There is no smoke without fire. It can't be because of the deportees that we have accepted to receive in this country is one of the reasons a U.S. daughter has lived there. America don't just get up and do things that they have no benefit in it. America, they are not a free lunch giver, so anything America does, they must make sure that they have something that will benefit them. So at the end of the day, they wanted to deport people to us. You want to sign an MOU. And respectfully, Okujeto Ablakwa, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is telling us that they signed an MOU at an executive level. So that does not require a parliamentary ratification. That is absolutely not true. Yeah, there are some agreements which don't need parliamentary ratification. But any agreement that brings a fiduciary responsibility on the state requires parliament ratification.
Okay.
If these people come to Ghana and something happens to them, who bears the cost? Is it Mahama who bears the cost? Excuse me, is it President Mahama who bears the cost? Or Kujeto Ablaka who bears the cost? The cost comes to the state. The responsibility is on the state. So you cannot sign such a ridiculous agreement without bringing it to Parliament for ratification. They hurriedly rush through that agreement, and he's now telling us it's an executive agreement level. We are not a country who is strictly governed by the executive. That is why we have 3 arms of government. So we want to tell the minister. That is why recently the people were even had the audacity to take us to court. They had the effrontery to take us to court. Because these are some of the things that when you do, you bring a responsibility on the state. So they must be mindful of some of these things that they do. If not so, we will be putting our country in a complete jeopardy. So to land on this case, we are telling the government of Ghana that create that environment, like what MP is saying, it is true. After the Second World War, where Japan was bombed, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki was bombed, what did the Japanese do? They deliberately sent their children to Europe to go and learn technology. Yeah. And today, Japan is the 3rd largest economy in the world. And when it comes to technology, you cannot beat Japan. That's what we call deliberate approach to do something right. But here lies the case. We have a 40-year development plan, Madam Lily. When was the last time you heard anybody talk about the so-called 40-year development plan that has been developed by the National Development Secretariat? We throw it to the dustbin. But at the end of the day,
always.
But the commission is there.
And we govern on party manifesto.
Party manifesto. And that National Development Planning Secretariat or whatever they call it, they are living on salaries. So all these things that they're putting together for 40 years, have we been able to track it and say that this is the beginning and this is supposed to be the end? So that we can measure and see the progress as which we are progressing to achieve our so-called 40-year development plan. Nkrumah had a vision, gave you 7-year development plan. He worked on it. What did we do? We didn't believe in him. We overthrew him. And now we are talking about 40 years. When those sitting in that office developing the 40 years plan, they know they may not even live for the next 20 years. So at the end of the day, we are just lying to ourselves, praising ourselves, saying we are doing something ourselves. So if now U.S. have decided to reverse a 3-month visa to 5 years, then hey, we should start singing praises and praising the government for restoring 5 years visa multiple entry for us. What does that bring to my table as a Ghanaian? 0. And how many Ghanaians today even have a passport to even travel out of this country? 0. So they should stop throwing dust into our eyes with some of these things for us to be praising them. When Okujoto did this, he quickly put it on his Facebook that we should praise him. I will not praise him. He has done nothing. It is a petty and mediocrity thing that I reach it, I will not fall for it. They can say that to the Marines, but certainly not me.
Doc.
Yes. Well, case in point, when Donald Trump put a restriction to the 5-year multiple entry, I, for one, said that the airline industry...
And then the 15%.
The airline industry will not be happy with him.
Why?
I see Delta Airlines CEO and the others having a meeting with his business people to inform him that, listen, the airline industry will be hit because the number of Africans who go back and forth between North America and Ghana are quite a huge number. And by virtue of a drop in the visa, approvals, it would affect them. So I think that certainly the CEOs of the airline industry have had a case for America. And that is one of the things that they gave consideration to. Beyond that, I worry because, one, I think that from an international standpoint, we've accepted people without passports into our country. And I would like for the Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to explain to Ghanaians.
Now it's just Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Okay, Ministry of Foreign Affairs to explain a bit more to Ghanaians how that happened. Because we can only admit foreign people into this country with a known passport, and that clarity needs to be given to us. I remember the NDC during the Nanado administration made a lot of noise about such international considerations. What has changed? What really has changed? Now, there's a very strong perception that the minister sold our country for cheap and allowed for this transaction of admitting to. This is admit to and make visas available for thousands. And I think that it's a bad deal.
How is it? If it is so, how is it a bad deal?
Well, the perception, I mean, listen, 2 detainees, so you succumb. If we're doing prisoner exchange, consider it more like a prisoner exchange. Two supposed American deportees, so that America gives us plenty visas. I think is unfortunate. The bargaining chip, if that was it, is unfortunate. And as it stands now, I am only making a demand that the minister explains to Ghana what went into the agreement of the two. Now, with that said, I know that the minister stands in for the president, and it is highly likely that this was agreed upon by the chief most executor of this country. It is by no fault of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. It certainly is more so a cabinet decision. And if that is the case, we need to know. I would be surprised to think that Okujato Ablakwa took this decision alone. And for that reason, I think that he may be shielding the president. But if that is the case, he should let us know. So in relation to this issue, are we going to get more detainees? We need to also know. So 3 key questions. 1, how do you get deportees into your country without passports? Are their rights being respected? There's enough noise about the fact that these detainees who have not been heard, who have not been given the opportunity to make their case or defend themselves, have been deported. And what it means is that Ghana has become complicit in depriving these men and women of their rights. And I think that is troubling from a human rights perspective, because most of these deportees under Donald Trump, based on some of the judges in America, are making it clear that they have not had a fair trial. And any country that is accepting these deportees are literally being complicit in this whole human rights, unfairness. And I think that it's unfortunate that Ghana, that wishes to uphold, the rule of law, and also uphold our sovereignty, is succumbing to Donald Trump and being a part of this wrong, and knowing my minister being one of those people that professes to be a self-righteous person, I think that it is not in line with some of the pronouncements he made whilst in opposition. And I think that, Mr. Minister, you've trampled on the rights of individuals who have not had a fair hearing. And for that reason, I think that this is tantamount to international laws being breached. And that is, for me, a very serious thing. And I worry because he's set precedents in this country, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. I would hope that lawyers of immigration will come out and explain to Ghanaians how you allow for somebody who has not had a fair trial in another country to enter Ghana. And how are you going to manage them? Are these quote-unquote criminals, and as such, are you saying that you're going to release them, or are you going to babysit them in a house for 24 hours a day? How are you going to manage them? And under what conditions are you going to put them?
Okay.
Let me say it here that, quite honestly, we all know in Sawam, nothing to write home about. And sometimes, interestingly, some African Americans strategically commit crimes so that they end up in jail and have free housing. The conditions, free food, the conditions in the American jail system are sometimes, in fact, in most times, are far better than what we have in this country. And for that reason, even being jailed in America somewhat is better than being jailed at Nsawam. And for that reason, I think that Mr. Minister for Foreign Affairs has really done a disservice to these people. And mind you, if they had stayed also in America and had a fair hearing, it is possible that they'll be allowed to stay in the U.S. So this is really very instructive, and I would hope that immigration lawyers in this country would come out and question, the whole thinking process, and the fact that our Foreign Affairs Minister has not really been very law-abiding with regards to international laws, especially for passport holders. If these individuals are from Burkina Faso or Ivory Coast, you are holding them hostage against their will in your country.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, and that is quite wrong. They are passport holders of a different country, and you've agreed to, these are not terrorists. These are people who may have breached some
laws,
immigration law in America. For all you know, they extended their stay in America and were arrested. I don't know the specific crimes that each of them committed, but the key thing, based on what I know, is that they have not had a fair hearing. Donald Trump has rushed things through to the extent that some planes were even asked to ground and not take off. And these are known to many of us here in Ghana. So I'm deeply troubled, and that question remains. Have others come and we are not aware? That one is, another key thing that we need to know. So, based on the Rights to Information Act that we all signed to, I'm hoping that the Foreign Affairs Minister will do the appropriate thing, and we hold a presser. He likes to hold press conferences. He should hold a press conference on this matter, which is an urgent, or as it is, a very important social question in the minds of many people, that why are we harboring, if they are quote-unquote bad for America, then they are also bad for Ghana. And I think that I wouldn't want a person of the soil of Ghana to be hosted in Cape Verde. What we did in our past history, where the Yas and Twers was taken to Seychelles, as it stands, are very bad. Why did we move them to Seychelles when they could have had, all the largesse in this country where they are born and raised? So, there are many questions to be answered, and would hope that, honorable member for South Tongue, North Tongue, would do us the honors and address this issue, bordering on human rights.
Human rights. Yeah. Okay. I see that you're jotting. If not, let's touch on.
What I was thinking you would have said it. They've been deported already, right? They are not in the country.
It was used as a transit point.
Yes, it was used as a transit point. They are not in the country.
But many deportees.
Currently, most of them are from Togo, so they've gone to Togo.
Oh, you know this?
Yes,
for a
they've gone to Togo.
But I'm sure, Honorable, I'm sure you know that we're expecting more than 40.
No, but it is, you see, that is why I said I don't still have the full report to know what is happening. But what I know,
so you and I want to.
What I know is that it is again maybe the immigration laws of the United States. You cannot extend your stay without permit.
No, I'm saying that maybe.
Yes. So once you overstay, they have every right to take you out of the country. You didn't come to seek for asylum, or maybe you are not a refugee. So if you don't have visa, you don't have any business in that country. But they are all coming to Africa. What I know is that they cannot. They have to come, when they are bringing them, they cannot put, if one is from Nigeria, one is from Niger, one is from Burkina Faso, one is from Togo.
This are from the media.
Two are from Ghana. It is possible that they put them together. When they get to the soil, when they get to Ghana, then they go to their various countries. And we might be helping them as brothers that are on the way coming.
But why couldn't we, I mean, there are planes that fly on a daily to all these countries.
Yes.
So why couldn't we have just said, okay, go on that flight and go home? Why must it be Ghana and then onward to Nigeria?
No. You see, they are bringing them.
This is even an assumption you're making.
Yes.
So I prefer not to dwell in assumptions.
Anyway.
So that is why I said I don't have the report.
Anyway.
But what I can tell you on record is that they are not in the country.
At the moment.
At the moment, they are not.
But you facilitated a wrongdoing.
It's not a wrongdoing. It's not a wrongdoing. Let's get the report first.
These people did not have
let's get the report.
fair trials.
Let's get the report first.
Fair trials, very important.
Let's get the report first.
Okay, let's move on and talk about the NPP.
Yes, that's my party.
Yes, and so I know you are very interested in this. Some elements, especially factions, who are eyeing the top job of the party, complaining of unfairness. To suit a particular candidate. The party has come out to clarify. And then there are some commentaries from some regional chairpersons of the party. And I'm wondering, per the structure of your party, do regional chairpersons have a hold on party albums? Are they able to manipulate? Are they able to influence party albums and outcome of some of these contests?
All right. So once you've given me the opportunity, let me borrow some of your time to inform the public that Dr. Bernie Champon is touring the Eastern region as it stands.
His home region?
That's his home region. In local parlance, Bodam Fifie. So he's doing the local region first. And then subsequent to that, I think it's very likely he may hit Greater Accra, then Ashanti region, maybe, to meet direct with the delegates. One of the key things that I've appreciated in following his communication is the fact that some things were choked in the system during the 8 years of even Kufuor and Anado's administration. And what he hopes is that if there are appointments or opportunities, it will come from his office direct to the people, instead of going through a number of channels where it's abrogated.
If we say appointments, what do you mean? Are the presidency level?
Well, let me cite, for instance, as it stands now, we all know that chief executives of constituencies or municipals are not voted for. Should that remain under the next regime, what it means is that when that decision is taken, it will not change between his office and a regional minister or his office and a member of parliament. And that whatever decision is taken for that particular region or constituency will be directed to them. And just to say the least, he feels that if there are employment opportunities with people of equal competence, it will not be blocked if it's supposed to come to any of them who are hardworking
who merited
and merited. So I think that is a very powerful thing. It's been worrying many grassroots over the years, where things don't trickle down. Yeah. Now, one key thing is that what is very clear to me now is that, one, the percentages are changing. When you have two ministers who were with one candidate withdraw and to be part of the race, by virtue of just those two leaving the former flag bearer, without a doubt, just those two combined will have following. And I'm very clear in my mind that whatever percentages that the flag bearer had in the previous primaries will drop already just by that, decision. Invariably, it is highly likely that the best survey will be after each of the candidates have toured the 276 constituencies. I think that will be the defining moment where we can have a realistic estimation of how well each of the candidates are doing. Okay. Any premature, as it is, survey or poll, I think will not be very scientific.
Okay, so not to cut your submission, but I'm just seeing a new poll by the Global Info Analytics just dropped this morning. Now, it says that a new tracking poll by the Global Info Analytics shows majority of voters prefer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the NPP in the 2028 elections. The poll suggests 57%. Now, 29% prefer Kennedy Ohene-Agyapong, 6% prefer Dr. Yawse Adichum, and 5% prefer Dr. Barney Champong, while 3% prefer Kwabena Agyapong. Do you think, realistically, in the next 2 months, after crisscrossing the entire country, a candidate like Dr. Barney Champong can cross the 50% mark, realistically?
What I think can happen based on this new poll, which I still think is very unscientific, and when I meet Musa Danko, I can tell him that, listen, when you're doing research, there are some red herrings that you need to watch out for. One, he did a poll when these 5 members said they were going to run, which I thought was even, why do it when they've not even had a chance to engage with the voters? And as it stands now, I think that for me, being a political person, being a numbers person, and mind you, my background is in economics before medicine, so I've done a lot of statistics, and I can tell you that there's a very questionable poll in terms of its timing. I'll keep saying it here. The very instructive one will be when, especially the new entrants, have had a chance of engaging the voters.
You say that,
and this will be likely around November, December. And that is where I think that there'll be clarity whether or not. And let me also be categorical here that the 57 is very questionable because, as I said here on this set, that Dr. Adichum, Dr. Barney Champong, and even Kwabena Agyapong, who was with DMB, have left and are now in the contest. And each of those, supposing they didn't even have following, mind you, the Eastern region bloc is heavy. And just going by that alone, should Brian pull, by just joining the race, pull 10% from DMB, you'll not be at 57. So I take this with a grain of salt, and I will be very clear to Musa Danko when I see him.
Since you mentioned that this is very unscientific, and we should give just about a a month or less to the main contest.
In a month and a half.
To the main contest.
By now, we would.
And there are certain red herrings that he should look out for. What are these red herrings?
Well, like I said, the 5 contestants have not even
crisscrossed.
Okay. I mean, we just started, so it's too early days yet.
Okay.
And back to our key point, which I think we are being drawn to. One, the album. Very unfortunate statements by the 2 regional chairpersons. And I think that the party stance shouldn't be just a party stance. They need to be called to question. And I think that there's been some perception already that this whole thing is being skewed for one candidate. And not to remind Alan Chamantin of his pain, it was one of the key things that he said was the reason why he left the party. Because he felt that strongly that the whole process was skewed. And based on his judgment, which now Adainimo has also buttressed. Okay, so you have 2 very powerful party people making this statement. And then unfortunately, we now have 2 regional chairpersons come out to also, as it is, add to this seeming perception. I think it's troubling. And we are all hopeful that appropriate administrative political actions will be taken against these 2 who are, as it is, creating more, for lack of a better word, more chaos, and in our party's what do you call it, constitution, when you bring the party's reputation into disrepute, I think there are serious consequences. Okay. And I put this in the context of bringing the party's name in disrepute.
Okay, but hold on for me. You said that when you meet Musa Dankwa, there are certain things that you tell him, especially the fact that his research is unscientific. And then the timing. Musa Dankwa joins us.
Beautiful.
On Zoom. He's the Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics. Mr. Dankwa, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
As always, you're welcome. Dr. Dixon Adumakukisi here says that the timing for your research makes it questionable, and so your research is unscientific. Is your poll also feeding into the perception that the NPP is skewing to project a certain candidate?
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
You as a media team, you know we have timetable for you, don't we? Our timetable is every 3 months.
Sure.
That was fixed years before MPP started to go to primaries. So Dr. Kisi should have known that we don't follow political party timetables. And timetable does not affect validity of a research. And also, if he's minded, polls can be done at any point in time. In fact, as a political party or political campaign, you must even do a poll before you even declare your intention to contest an election. So that when you declare, you see the effect of your declaration before the declaration. You see how much you have kind of made gains before announcement and then after announcement. This is data that is very insightful and useful. Maybe he doesn't see that to be very useful. Look, polls are done at any point in time, and there are various types of polls. He, as a part of a campaign, can do their poll anytime they want. And we do our polls anytime we want it. Our polling calendar will not coincide with theirs. Absolutely not. And in terms of scientific nature of our polls, look, we have been accused of more than what he is saying now. There are those who said that if you follow Global Info polls, you have diarrhea on election day. We knew who had diarrhea on election day. So for us, we had a track record as present at Akwetia. So I think it is high time they realize this. And I know you are part of the campaign, but don't try to denigrate the poll because it didn't go your way.
Yes. Mr. Dankwa, he has a question for you.
Yeah. So my key question is that will this be more reflective after the candidates have had a tour of the 276?
But you know, he mentioned that before he comes, he mentioned that it's done every 3 months. So
Yes.
the next one will be we're in September, so by December. So that would, after that, then we would have been able to tell after the entire national crossing.
So that
So
means
don't you
that
think that you should
I will
accept
wait
this?
for but
And
I
then
also
it
have
will
a
feed
question
into
that,
your
that
campaign.
I made a statement here on the show
Uh-huh.
that 3 strong entities that supported DMB have withdrawn. And this
have
poll
gone solo.
is not reflective of that. And for me, I question the polls by virtue of the fact that the 3 candidates who supported strongly this, I mean, you know, Dr. Brian Champo says that he doesn't think anybody supported DMB more in terms of finances and, you know, strategy.
But in his
And-
financial support, did the people on ground know that it came from him? Because mind you, the projection was the candidate and not who supported who.
No, but what I'm saying is that he supported. Now that he's withdrawn, and Educhum has withdrawn,
And then Kwabena
Japan has withdrawn, I would have thought that some percentage would be impacted in this poll.
Okay.
And I'm not seeing that in the poll.
Okay, so Mr. Dankwa, walk us through your methodology, your approach, the demographics. Walk us through.
Look, there are 2 types of people we polled here.
Okay.
We polled Ghanaians, and we also polled MPP delegates.
Okay.
And among Ghanaians we polled, nearly 9,500. And about 2,000 were polled over the telephone. And 7,500 were polled face-to-face across 83 constituencies. When it comes to the MPP delegates, we polled 2,700 randomly from over 240 constituencies across the country, randomly.
Okay.
And the numbers we have is representative of what we believe are the sample of MPP delegates and those of the Ghanaian voters according to the EC register.
Okay.
In terms of demography, women were around 42%, male around 58%. And then if you look at the age groups 18 to 24, about 10%, and then 25 to 34, about 34%, 35 to 44, about 34%, and people around 45 to 54, about 15%, and 5% were those between 55 and 64, and 3% were above 65.
Okay. So now, doesn't it make it clear?
My key question still remains that, you know, during this poll, can he ascertain that the 3 candidates who were initially or hitherto supporting one candidate, when they pulled out, I'm not seeing it reflective in this poll. Why is that the case? I mean, I want to understand.
But these were not just NPP people. These were
let me ask him.
Okay.
Does he have a poll? Does he have a poll, a data that shows that Baume's numbers include 2% of Educhum, 1% of Branachampo, and X of this candidate? He doesn't have that data. Nobody has that data in this country. Okay. And Baume was elected last time not because he was followed by Branachampo, not because he was followed by Educhum, not because he was followed by he was elected because they think he was the best at the time.
Okay.
If you're talking about financing, see, look, we have sentiments and we have reality.
Okay.
And we don't follow sentiment, we follow reality. Okay. Look at the numbers, even among delegates, that Educhum, Branachampo, and co were getting. Look at the numbers they were also getting among general voters. It's not markedly different from what you are seeing. So what we can say is that the next poll we will do, if there are any changes that are happening through the campaign, you will see. Okay. And indeed, if you don't do your polls early enough to see where you were in November and where you are in December, what kind of campaign are you running?
So I know you do your final poll in December, but do you think that adequate campaign crisscrossing the entire nation will perhaps inch up the percentages of the remaining candidates, aside Dr. Bawumia, and even inch up Dr. Bawumia's percentage?
Look, before I answer that, let me go to a particular question that we asked. Delegate. So I'm going into delegate. You see, we don't just ask one question and leave it there. We tend to go behind the scene to see their mindset.
Okay.
We ask voters or delegates to tell us whether they have favorable opinion or unfavorable opinion of candidate A, B, C, E. So Bawumia, when it comes to him, 94% of them said they have favorable opinion about him.
Okay.
2% have unfavorable. So the net is 92% plus. When it comes to Brian Achampong, favorable 82, unfavorable 5, net is 77%. Yao Ose 82, favorable 79, unfavorable 6%, net 73%. Kennedy Japan, favorable 84, unfavorable 4%, net 80%. Kwabena Japan, favorable 79, unfavorable 5%, net 74. If you rank this net ratings, you see that it matches the way the people are voting for them in the primaries.
Okay.
This is a scientific way of proving that the figures are correct.
Okay.
We will bear in mind that Hillary Clinton had the best polls as we work. Those of us working on the grounds will bear that in mind.
Okay.
In the sense that she had very favorable polls only for Trump to win. So we'll bear that in mind.
Okay.
And we appreciate...
This is primary. This is primaries, not general election.
Okay.
We appreciate.
Mr. Dankwa, I'm sure that in the coming days, months, we will engage you again on the final poll you will conduct before the NPP heads for its January 31.
That is what I'm waiting for.
Mr. Dankwa, thank you very much. That's Mr. Dankwa. He's Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics, and he says that Dr. Bawumia currently is leading in a research conducted with 57%, others 6%, 5%, and 3% respectively. 29, 6, 5, and 3% respectively. That's Kennedy Ahini Japan, Dr. Yao Duchum, Dr. Brian Achampong, and Kwabena Japan. Gentlemen, let me come to you. Richard, this should be a home match, if not for the fact that your boss left. But your thoughts on
they said they should come home.
Well, they've extended the olive branch, by the way, but that is not what we're discussing.
Yeah, but for you know, the likes of me, sincerely, I've not been an MPP member, and I only believe in the unblemished personality called Alan Kojo Tremante.
Okay.
And believing in what he is capable of doing. He's a humility personified individual, and he has the capacity and the integrity, the vision and the foresight to be able to move this country forward. That is why you see that many of the parties, the two big parties, they're giving us a plethora of promises. Even as we speak now, the 24-hour economy that JM and Co. used as a flagship program to hoodwink us into believing that they have the silver bullet to kill the vampire warriors as a country. As of today, they launch it, but they still themselves don't know where is their starting point and what is the end game in mind. They don't know. Maybe MP will explain that to me when he gets a chance. Now, for us, we don't want to talk much about MPP and what is happening within their folds. But if should anybody tell us that anybody can beat Dr. Bawumia in the coming election, maybe I may beg to differ. Because the same party architecture, the same leadership, the same shenanigans, activities that happened, that made Bawumia to win overwhelmingly to become their flag bearer and perform abysmally at the national level, they are the same party apparatus who are still in the helm of affairs. Nothing has changed. So, old wine, old bottles, what are you expecting? Nothing new. So if anybody should tell me that the system has changed, they say there is no smoke without fire. If we are here today and the crocodile comes from the river to tell us that the whale is dead, why should we doubt him? Or why should we doubt the crocodile? So if the NPP chairman from Ashanti and Bono are giving us some snippet of information as to what they think is happening, the machination that is happening to skew the election in favor of one particular person. They've not mentioned who that person is. They just throw it to the dust. But we would deduce from that even though we knew Bono chairman, Ashanti chairman, they are all supporting Dr. Bawumia. So I don't know what is their fear for them to be coming up with all this noise they are making around that there are some machinations going on to manipulate the voter register and all these things. I don't understand their position anyway. But then let me add to say that Dr. Bawumia, he has been the vice president. Nana Akufo-Addo, the ex-president, supported him through and through. And he has been able to plant him in the heart and mind of many of the delegates. And many of the delegates that we speak to, they will tell you that, Nana Akufo-Addo, he struggled first time, second time, before he got it the third time. Atta Mills, they use the same analogy. Atta Mills also first time, second time, before he got it. So their assumption is that Bawumia should be given another chance. Probably this time around, he'll be able to make it. But I'll bet my last penny that he can win their internal primary. But Dr. Bawumia can never win a national election. Because let me tell you, if he wins, whoever comes from the NDC fold, and we put Alan Chermantin there, and we want to talk about their capacity as individuals and what they've been able to do, we can bet our last penny and say as a country or say to the people of this country that Alan Chermantin represents the finest material to be able to take over from JM. So, all these arguments...
So will he return to the NPP?
No, that's what the return is a no, because we say to you that these two major political parties have taken Ghana for a ride. They are taking us into complete abyss. Instead of us making progress, we are not making progress as a country. They only say all manner of things to the gallery. But the reality on the ground, nothing is changing. Yes, today we can agree that, yes, the dollar is relatively doing well because we claim that gold board is doing some magic. Even the president told us that it is the work of the gold board and our dollar and our brand here. Didn't he say it? So that should tell you that realistically, they are not doing any productive investment. They are not investing into any productive sectors. Now we hear that they are now proposing all manner of things. They have launched this, they have launched that, they have launched so many things at the same time, but we are not seeing the fruit of any yet. Maybe we should give them ample time to see whether it will yield some significant result. But like to conclude, is to say that we sincerely believe that Dr. Bawumia has the chance to win their primaries. In as much as Doctor is saying that Dr. Brana Champon supported financially, he other people supported him, but I'm sure they supported him as individuals. They didn't put much of their followers to throw their support behind Dr. Bawumia. Even if that is the case, and Dr. Brana Champon and Kennedy Ajapon and the likes have withdrawn, not Kennedy Ajapon, what do we call it? The former General Secretary, Kwabena Ajapon. If they have withdrawn their support from Bawumia, we can say that these are individuals. Individuals with only one vote who have withdrawn their support. So at the end of the day, we still believe that Bawumia may sail through. And if Bawumia sails through, that is going to deepen the wounds of the party further. The NPP is in total disarray and they are not an attractive political party as we speak today. And anything they put out there, look at social media, anything, for instance, Miracle Abuaji is now talking about we Ghanaians drinking polluted water. When under the NPP administration, were we drinking a clean water? Were we drinking clean water? So why should Abuaji come and tell us today that we are drinking a dirty water, as if that when they were in power 8 months ago, the turbidity level of our rivers were zero. So the more they talk, the more they are destroying themselves further. And we at the Movement for Change, we are praying fervently for Bawumia to win. We are praying fervently for Dr. Bawumia to win their primaries. Because when that happens, it becomes more chaotic and it become people will have apathy. People will be disgruntled. People will not want to support him further because Ken Camp will not throw much support behind him. Dr. Brana Champon's camp may not hypothetically throw much support behind him, but they may also want to be looking for a new people who believe in the UP ideology, who believe in the fact that we need a common front to be able to stand united and win power. Okay. So as a movement, I can bet my last penny to say that if Bawumia wins their primaries, NPP is in a big mess. But our certificate from the EC provisional certificate has been issued. So we may this week introduce our party to the people of Ghana and tell the people of Ghana
what is the name of your party?
That I won't tell you right now. We are waiting.
Is it movement for change?
No. We have actually been able to gravitate from the movement into a party that will be able to bring all the other groupings.
For change? Is that the name of the party? Butterfly for change.
What for change?
Butterfly for change.
What a name! What a name! But we see Ghana, all the smaller parties, they are disjointed, and there have been two fragmentations in our political space. We need a common, united front to be able to do what? Move this nation forward. That's why Alan presented a working document, which is called the Great Transformational Plan. So the plan should tell you, even today we are talking about attitudinal change and behavioral change. Let me tell you, as a country, until we zero in on our attitude and our behavior and our mindset, I can bet my last penny that we are not going anywhere.
Honorable, I know that this is a match for your opponent. I just want you to have a bite at it. It's a quick one, and then we can wrap up.
Lily, thank you very much. I think the question you asked is based on the Abronya and the statements that they brought out. I will come to that, but I will say the candidates, I know none of them would lose. Competition of this nature, you are not going to lose. You either win or you learn.
Okay.
I know they will learn, most of them will learn after the primaries. With the research of Musa Dankwa, I think with the modern politics that we have, research of this nature, basically he has gotten most of the research in the past right. But I can say there's a little bit of coincidence in it. Because today, looking at the contest in MPP, when Bawumia and Kennedy and Co. contested, money played a role. Today, if you sit and believe that a delegate or branch executive or constituency executive member, let me just say delegate, is having a static mind that it is this person I'm going to vote for, you are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. There are people today that will change their mind on the last day based on what information will get to him or based on whatever that will get to that person. Okay. So for me, I will advise the candidates not to let that research demoralize them. They should go out there and fight. But what I see is that this contest might not be one touch.
Okay.
There might be a second round because of the way the dynamics are going.
Okay.
And
even with the polls suggesting otherwise?
I said the polls, to me, if it happens, it's just coincidence that will make it happen. But I don't believe in what he did.
Are you by any means supporting?
No, I'm not.
Candidates?
I'm not supporting. And the polls. What motivated me to give a serious doubt to it is placing Dr. Educhum ahead of Bran Achampon. Come on, we are joking in this country.
Oh,
it cannot be so. We know them.
I see the alliance there.
We know what is going on. You see, MPP, it has always been what they kept out. What the two chairmen said. You know, one thing, those two regional chairmen, they should have been brothers. They talk alike, they look alike, they behave alike. They should have been brothers, biological brothers. You see. The fact is that it has always been part of MPP. that every elections, they want a way out, indirectly. You see, this country, if we are deliberate with Ghanaians, we decide that we are going to be very transparent with Ghanaians, we are going to be disciplined as a government and a party, we are going to empathize with Ghanaians, this party will be in opposition for a very long time. For a very long time. Because the fact is that if we decide to say that we are going to make sure that we look at our constituencies very well and try to make sure that we sort all our constituencies very well and our constituents very well, NPP will be in opposition for a long time. NPP today, if Ghana, for instance, Ghana card, if we are able to establish the Ghana card very well, for every Ghanaian to have a Ghana card, and we use the Ghana card to vote, I would tell you that NPP will be in opposition for a very long time. Because that has always been the mindset. If NPP is not able to manipulate things, especially in Ashanti region, then they are doomed. They cannot go anywhere. So as a party, if that is what I say, if we are deliberate enough, they will not even go anywhere. But I'm surprised every day they are talking about 2028. This party that is very disorganized, that you are talking about 20...
You don't think they stand a chance in 2028?
Even Class Prophet, they can't win with this party currently. They can't win.
Okay, talking about Class Prefect, the Class Prefect for your party has made a trend, interestingly. He was on a thank you tour, and you made commentary on the thank you tour, and I see that he's been trending a lot over the weekend. I'm sure you suffered low battery several times.
The trend in politics, you cannot avoid it. You must sometimes trend for good reasons or wrong reasons. And the statement I made it here, which is not the same statement that is out there. I've reached out to my father, because I don't even call him a chairman. To me, he's not a chairman, he's my father, because he has always been around for me. I can remember my contests, my hard days. He was around. He came to my constituency and campaigned with me. I have almost, my constituency is so large, I'm running almost 3 constituencies in one. He went to the North Zone with me, he went to the East Zone and the West Zone with me 2 times. So I can never be ungrateful to such a man or a father. So I will apologize that whatever they said, the false video outside there, if it has hurt him in any way, or if it has inconvenienced him in any way, I am deeply sorry, but I distance myself from the edited video. And some people want to, you know, in politics, you have opponents everywhere. They will try to, when they get a loophole, they try to make it big so that they can enter. But I've always been a survivor in politics, and I will always be strong. I can never hurt my own party. I can never say anything bad about my party. But when it comes to my constituents and my constituency, mostly if there is anything that I have to say for them to be recognized, for my constituency to be recognized and known, I will definitely fight for them. And I learned most of they sent most of the videos to my constituents to tell them that this is what is happening in the party, and I'm losing favors with the party. And some of them are there. When I speak English like this, they will not hear. So I will take 2 minutes of your time and tell them in my local dialect that what they said is not true, and I will always be available for them. Akwe makato ake no mama waro chana paga constituency ni atawe video kuluba di na jiga ba keten kai va video mu no na mu kwe ka ba kedane ba ke sekoda koda konto. So alaga alura ba we ba kwans ba jarba ma ba choy drane party kon ama alaga tawo kulmama ajanga pa party kon manga mama kulmama konai constituency ko nyem chana pa constituency nyem ajanga apaba ko zewuta jige jarem bangane ajaya apaba manga mama aurasa aniya bangama akiyale kamuno. Thank you very much, Lily. I'll teach you my language.
Is that Wala?
That is Kasim.
That's Kasim. Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's nice. Okay, anyway, so that's Bilal Lamzi's Member of Parliament for Chana Parker. That's Richard Suma, is a marketing consultant and a senior member of the Movement for Change, and Dr. Dixon Adomahokisi, a Member of Parliament for Anyaso Tom. He also speaks for the Dr. Brian Champon campaign. My name is Lily Mohammed. I am back after this breather with more. We'll talk about the Gadangbe Youth Forum and also talk about societal pressures on marriage. I hear the birds singing, now my alarm's ringing. Hey, it's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day. Welcome back to your perfect morning companion on television. This is GH Today, and my name is Mohammed. Let's talk about the seeming societal pressure for marriage. Now, when you go on social media, people are very judgmental when it comes to women who are married at a certain age, men who are married at a certain age. And for some people, these are red flags to look out for. When you clock a certain age and you're not married, it means that you are not good for that institution. But is that entirely the case? I've been joined in studio by the founder of Benjamin Fojo Ministries, Benjamin Fojo himself, Reverend. Are you Apostle, Reverend?
Just call me Benjamin Fojo.
Benjamin Fojo. How are you? It's good to see you again.
God is helping us. God is helping us.
You look amazing.
I'm learning from you.
Anyway, so he's. I'm sure you all remember him, right? He's being a regular on the show, and he also has a show coming up on our network. He's going to preach the word to you, but today he's going to preach the word in relation to marriage. Now, marriage as an institution, I know that this was instituted by God Himself.
God, yes.
And so there are a lot of people, especially in the church, who sort of pressurize people, women and men. When you hit a certain age, you're supposed to be married. If you are married, then it feels as though there's something worrying. Now, people have altar calls for people to come for marriage. Why?
All right. You see, some people have this belief that marriage makes them responsible. Mm-hmm. But you need to be responsible first before getting married. Now, it's clear that the Lord instituted marriage. Mm-hmm. But they've forgotten that God also needs to appoint you who to marry. Mm-hmm. Because you may go in for somebody you like, and that may be the reason why things didn't go well for you. Mm-hmm. In fact, some people chose not to marry because when they had certain experiences, they felt people cannot be trusted. Mm-hmm. So I tell people to understand what marriage really is before realizing the things you can do. Because when you get into marriage, if God does not help you, you get to lose who you are and what you're called for. That's it.
Now, the institution marriage, is it mandatory? Since it was instituted by God, is it mandatory that every believer must get married? And so if I do not get married, am I a sinner?
Well, I believe it's revelatory. You see,
how so?
All right. You see, everything in life premises on the root of understanding. What you don't understand, you can't reflect. What you don't understand, you can't manifest. What you don't understand, you cannot become. That is why God always tells people, let me teach you the ways on how to go about things, on how things can work for you. So you realize that many people don't know the value of marriage. For some people, it's only for companionship. But if you study scriptures, it is because God wants to do something. God never gives you a person until God wants to do something. They've forgotten that. You see, there's an assignment in God that cannot come into fruition without a person. So when you get to that place where God can entrust your life with a person, He now gives you marriage. So it's more of an assignment than entertainment.
If I hit the age 30 and I am unmarried as a Christian, will I be prone to sin?
No. You see, sometimes people create certain things based on their view on life. So for instance, by the grace of God, we have a very well ministry. So people may tend to use my words as a reference point why they do things. But that shouldn't be so. We should go back to scriptures and then hear what God has said. Now, society has a way of making people believe at age 30, these are the things to have. Now, somebody made their expectations and want to now live by someone's expectation. Meanwhile, everybody has a different calling and a different assignment. Being unmarried at 30 doesn't mean you're meant to sin. And don't forget, sin is a decision and not a feeling.
Okay.
I get me. It's not because you feel like you decide to. Because everything that comes as a feeling was first decided by you. As simple as that. So you choose.
So we choose the people who want to get married.
Exactly.
Right? But very often, when you go to certain churches, they say, God said you should marry this person. And even when you have chosen, they tell you that is not what God wants you to. Is marriage something that God chooses for a person?
Yes. God decides who you to work with. You know, we only see what a man can do. We don't ever get to see what God has in mind for us. We've forgotten that the future is what God wants us to have. For instance, your present is what you are living in. The present of God is the future man should live by. So for instance, if God says you are great, You may not look like you are great in this moment, but he has foreseen what's about to happen to you. Now watch this. For a very long time, many people assume that it is love that sustains marriage, but it goes beyond that. Because things will happen and you'll be like, wait, did I really make up my mind to be with this person? Because you might meet somebody more handsome or more beautiful, more influential, more eloquent, but you realize that what makes up the person the love of your life is what the person has been calling to you for. As simple as that. So I believe that God speaks in confirming who to be with. Now hear this. I tell people that even when God speaks, you must learn to understand what God is saying. Because sometimes we are too emotionally inclined that we tend to neglect what God says. You see, when you're in love and somebody advises you, you hardly understand what the person says. Because you can't see the error, you can't see the wrongs. But God speaks in view of the future. I believe that.
Does the church add to the pressures to get married by making marriage look like the ultimate blessing?
I believe certain individuals.
Okay.
Yes, I believe the church is Christ. And I believe certain individuals who may have paved their way through to the top may make it look like you should be married to be responsible. See, some people come up with these things just to find a way to ensure that people don't live an indisciplined life. Because they believe, like I said, marriage makes you responsible. But it goes beyond that. One has to decide to be responsible. Some people believe, okay, when you marry, you won't cheat. But some people actually get the license to even cheat more after marriage. So it depends on who you are listening to. I believe that.
You have said that marriage is an assignment.
Yes.
How do I know that this is my assignment? Must I be married or must I not be married?
All right. So the assignment in this context has got to do with God telling you what to do. You see, when you begin to work with God, he tells you the things he expects of you. You will not hear from God about a future he doesn't want you to possess. So as he begins to work with you, he will tell you that, you know one thing, you are at a moment in your life where what you ought to do is quite heavy, and he will take a person to help you make it out. The Bible says Adam fell into a deep sleep and God gave him Eve, not because he wanted to, but the Lord saw the need of giving him a companion. So I believe that.
Okay. So in the instance where people feel that it's fulfillment, can a Christian live a fulfilled life without being married?
Oh yes, it's very possible. You see, like I said, marriage is revelatory. It is highly dependent on how you've made up your mind to see things. Now, for instance, somebody can fall in love with assignment and say, God, in order not to be confused, I want to offer myself unto you as a sacrifice. Where I wouldn't want to be confused. You see, some people don't know that when marriage comes in the game, everything changes. Because you can't live like an ordinary person. You live as though you live with somebody. I tell people that marriage is like putting two boxers in a ring without a referee. And at the end, they will have to fight and call themselves winners. Nobody loses, nobody wins. Everybody is on the same plane. But you see, sometimes many people have this feeling that I'm going in there to discover myself. It's a problem. Because it's a place where both of you get to know who you are and the best to help yourself. So it depends on you. Trust me.
You're a pastor.
Yes.
You're unmarried. Are you under pressure? Do people come to you and ask you
Well,
why
you know,
you're
they will
not married?
ask you, why are you not married? But like I said, it's time.
What do you tell them?
Oh, I tell them when the time is going to happen. You see, I believe that people must learn to wait upon the Lord and to know when to do things. People would ask you, do this, do that, but they won't be there when things happen.
Of course, they will never be there. It's just you and the pastor.
I'm telling you, when
But
things don't go as expected, they would.
How do I know, as a young person, that it is time?
You see, I believe everyone should have the desire. Once you go before, you see, I tell people that have a desire for something, but don't be too emotionally inclined to that thing. The very moment you allow your emotions take over you, you lose the essence of consecration. Everything God has in mind for me should come as I grow in God. As I grow in God, He begins to align my path to His plans for my life.
But if I do not want to get married, but I want to have children, is it forbidding as a Christian?
Yes, you can't desire to have a child and not be married.
Why?
Why? Because the only legal way God said we should have children is through marriage. I get me. Now, this is where many believers are trying to come up with opinions. Christianity is not a platform where you are given the right to show opinions. The Lord, in His infinite wisdom, has given us laws and systems to live by. And they are for our own justification and purification. Even if you are right for the things we do, we are wrong for the things we represent. As simple as that.
So how then do we separate cultural practices, cultural appreciation of marriage from God's plan?
All right. You see, when you come into the kingdom, you've come into a kingdom life experience. Even though you have your own culture, you've been called to understand that you live like Christ. The Bible says the people in Antioch were called Christians. They didn't call themselves Christians. It was the people that said you live like Christ, you should be called a Christian. So in as much as one is part of where they're coming from, let's know that our representation is of Christ Jesus. So let's understand that we are no longer of the past. We are going to a future ahead. So when we get to understand that, we'll know how to make our right decisions.
What role then should faith play in resisting these societal pressures to getting married and eventually settling for the wrong ones?
You know, faith, according to Hebrews 11, is in two ways. There is a faith that gives you the things you want, and there is a faith that makes you represent what God has said. The Bible says Abel offered the sacrifice unto God and still lost his life. Not because God was not with him, but because the death of Abel was needed to speak on a few things. So let's tell people that even though we have our own desire, what God has for me is far bigger than my own plans. See, I tell Christians this, that predestination is God's intention, but not God's decision. So God has a plan of creating something for you, but he leaves you to decide what becomes of you. So let's tell people that to live right is far better than to be right in what you feel.
How can the church help, especially when the churches are constantly organizing single summit? They will say that today is a day for prayer for singles. And then when the pastor is on the pulpit and say that, oh, there are 15 angels here. 10 of them are delivering people's marriages. Raise your hand. And people are frustrated. People are going in. How do we help people through the church?
You see, I believe our churches must return to the place where we teach people how not to be biased in the things they say. You see, when people preach, they preach in honor of what they know. So, for instance, a pastor may come from a place where he was taught that the only way to be accepted by God is to be married. So, in communicating revelation, he's more biased in the thing he says. But it's beyond that. So, let's teach pastors to understand that as you're communicating the message, there's a soul hearing you. The person may not understand what you say. You know, for a very long time, I used to speak very deep. And then later, I did a survey and I realized that 90% of the members didn't understand my message. And I said, what? So I had to find a way, I had to find a structure on how to speak with them. When I did that, I saw a strong growth in the numbers and also in their commitment. So let's tell pastors to understand that the pulpit is not a place where you exchange your feelings. It's to communicate what Christ is saying.
Okay. But Christ is saying that he should be married for grace.
Exactly. You see, that alignment in this context has got to do with the individuals. So we teach people to understand what God has said, and they decide. They can choose not to. Now, you realize Saul, who became Paul. Now, if you study theology, you realize he was part of the Sanhedrin. Now, these were the lawmakers. In the days of old, you were not accepted as a lawmaker if you're not married. So at some point, Paul was married. When he came into the Christian faith, he realized that he had lost time in many things in the past and thought it's time to focus on a calling, as simple as that. So he decided.
For persons who suffer stigmatization in churches because they are unmarried, what do you have to tell them?
I always tell people that don't allow somebody pressure you into a life you can't defend. Because the people that will pressure you might be suffering more than the things they're saying. You know, people fake behind the camera. People are not what they seem to be.
Very true. Very true. Yes.
I remember somebody sang a song and said, audio money.
Yeah. This is audio love. Audio happiness.
Honestly, some people are trying to fake up standards they don't represent. So I tell people to wait upon the Lord, because when the time is right, the right thing will happen. You see, you can't force yourself into a life you have not been taught to understand. Even if it comes by chance, you will lose it in a way you will ask God to forgive you in how to have access to that. So let's tell them to take their time. And when the time is right, the right thing will happen.
Finally, what word of encouragement do you have for people who are constantly being asked, why are you unmarried, and being pressured, especially from parents who are leading a flock in church?
You see, like I said, many decisions people take in our churches are based on the honor they would want to have in the eyes of the people. You see, for a very long time, for instance, if you're a pastor, there's a way you're expected to act. It is true. But the honor is not because of the people, it is unto God. When you get to hear what God thinks of you, you will live differently. It looks like our accolades are more from what men are saying. But sometimes people can clap you into your graveyard. So let's tell people that even though you would want to create a name, it should be more in alignment with God's plan. So let's tell our parents not to pressurize their children. Okay, you are growing old. When I'm going to give me children, let's teach them the blessedness, the benefits, the profit, the pros and cons, and then allow them decide. And I believe when they are right for that, they will understand that.
Is marriage beneficial?
Yes, when you find the right person.
So is it to marry late and right or marry early?
You see, I tell people that it is better to be slow and sure than to be fast and fall. You get me? It's better to be slow and sure than to be fast and fall. Now, some people were graced and chanced by God to marry early, and they are still succeeding in their marriage because maybe they had the chance to understand how things were communicated. And yesterday, I was somewhere, and I was telling them that there's a way you impute knowledge in a child's life that before the child gets of age, instinctively the person knows what to do. Because what you train a child with, that knowledge becomes the reason why he does his things. I get me. So some people may not have a chance to have been taught early on how to go about things. So even when they are old, they may be old in age and still not be old in their understanding that brings about the impact they deserve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure a lot of people are encouraged. If you are single and married, if you want to get married, fine. If you don't want to get married, too. But when are you getting married?
when the time is right. But you see, Lily, let me say this here. I tell people to learn not to allow their pain change them. You see, people have been through hurtful relationships. And when they go through this process, it changes who they are. Now, the day you allow pain change you, you change your destiny. Because your identity is peculiar to existence. So the day you allow someone's input change who you are, you lose the essence of your existence. So I tell people...
Is that not where the church comes in?
No, I believe that's where your decision comes in. You should decide to tell yourself, even if the pain was quite unbearable, it was needed for my next journey. Because I know people that are bleeding on innocent souls. You see a young lady that gave her life to a man, and a new man comes into her life, and then she begins to blame the new man for things the first man committed. And when it happens like that, you are causing pain to the new man here. You see, you can't expect another person to bear the pain of somebody else. It's impossible. Why bleed on the person who didn't cause you pain? So let's tell people that find a way to be strong psychologically so you don't get to refer others to the pain you went through in your previous relationships.
Okay, so I know I told viewers that you'll be hosting a show on our network.
Yes.
Which starts this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Okay.
So at 9:30 p.m. we'll be preaching on GHOne, and then Saturday morning 6 a.m. on Star FM.
Okay.
Yes.
So this Wednesday, what are we expecting?
The glory of intimacy.
The what?
The glory of intimacy.
Intimacy with God or intimacy?
With God. No, with man.
Anyways, it's still early in the morning. Thank you very much. That's Benjamin Fojo. He's the head pastor for Benjamin Fojo Ministries. I am back shortly after this. Stay with me. The Dangbe Youth Forum coming up in just about 2 days. Now, that particular forum is bringing together all Gans, Gadangbes, and persons who actually accept the Ga Dangbe ideology. And my guest this morning is Awulana Akwali. She's head of PR Ga Youth Forum. Malik Abe is head of operations Ga Youth Forum, and Nia Nimli Oyanka is head of finance Ga Youth Forum. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Obake. This is the real
Obake. I tell us Obake.
Obake.
You are Ladon.
Oh, that's how you respond.
Exactly.
Okay.
Ladon, what do you mean you fair?
Boho, you are Ladon.
Exactly.
Right. Now let's talk about the last time you were here. You talked extensively about why this firm. From that time till now, have people really expressed interest in coming? And so far, who are those coming?
Exactly. So the interest is soaring by the day because the publicity and the marketability has really gone down to every Tom, Dick, and Harry across the Gadangbe state. And we are expecting not less than 1,000 attendees on the day. Okay, so preparations are far advanced. And on the Wednesday, 1st October, it's going to be a blast. One of the biggest programs to be organized under the auspices of the government is going to happen on Wednesday, on the 1st October.
Now, for you as a woman of Ga descent, what does this mean to you? Especially as there are a lot of perceptions about Ga women who grow up in certain communities and the fact that they are only ripe for childbearing.
So thank you, my sister.
You're welcome.
I want to say a very good morning to your audience, your viewers. As a lady, as a woman, I think this is the time all women in politics, Ga and Adangbe, women in business, Ga and Adangbe, women in journalism, Ga and Adangbe, all areas, let's come together on the 1st of October at the John Wesley Methodist Conference Hall at 9 a.m. Let us show to the world that we have the women. There's no we have the men. Yes, because there are so many business women who are gone. The young adults, the youth out there, they want to look up to people for mentorship. Let's come together. Let's give them hope. Because this is the time. As I speak, there are so many ladies out there. They wake up, they think, oh, there's nothing to be done. They're just going up and down on this social media. They are just showcasing the bad side of their self to the world because they think that is what is trending. This is the time we all need to come together so that we show these ladies out there that you can do this and do that and attain this and attain that. So this is the time. I think this Ga Youth Forum is for all of us to come together, equip ourselves, regroup ourselves, and show ourselves to the world out there that Ga women, Ga men out there, Ga youth, they are good at this and that. And very soon, we are going to have a Ga woman as a vice president, a Ga woman as a president, a Ga man as a president here in Ghana. Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Let me come in there. The Ga women, as is being portrayed out there, are not lazy people. When you look at the most industrious women in this country are Ga women. They are very hardworking. The process you go through in preparing kenke alone shows the level of stress and hard work they put into preparing the kenke.
And even if you look at our history,
Nadede Asikishan, the main financier of the first president of the Republic of Ghana, just overnight, I woke up this morning, there is this Nadede Tego who has become the first geometric doctor in Ghana.
Yes,
so there is Sherry Aike, in politics who made a lot of inroad for herself and for the Ghana community. There is a Joyce Ayi. We know all of them, the impact they made within the Ghana state. The impression need to be erased. The impression need to be erased. The Ghana women are capable. There are a lot of them who are in academia. When you mention Professor Irene Dote, she's one of the female professors who have made inroads when it comes to academic achievement and all that. Okay, a lot of them.
One of my directors is Ghana. One of my colleagues here, Nadi Tete, she's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the media space, there's now Shoko, there is now Akushika, and all of them. They are all over every facet. When you come to the finance area, when you come to law, they are there. When it comes to medicine, they are there. When it comes to academia, all over the place. We need to rewrite the story. Okay, we need to change the status quo. The impression needs to be changed over the time. The impression has been that anything about the Ghana is negative. It is totally wrong. We have not been able to market ourselves well. So the renaissance is starting on our part or from our age. We are not going to rely so much on our forefathers or our parents. Probably they've gone to sleep on one of these issues. But for the youth in postmodern times, we are taking the bull by the horn and we want to take Gadangbe to the utopia. So one of the main reasons behind the formation of the forum is to push the Gadangbe out there. We've been relegated to the background for quite too long. And we are going to make sure that we're going to push the agenda and Gadangbe will be in the limelight again.
Malik, now, your theme says that development through idea sharing. What ideas will you be sharing on Wednesday?
Yeah, very good morning to you and all listeners on GHOne TV and GH Today. And a good morning, of course, to His Royal Majesty King Takite Kochuru II, who is the Gamanche, and who is the pioneer of uplifting the face and image of the Ga in recent times. I say this because when you go back in history, when Boni Sosi died in the early 2000s, you realize that in the Nkrumah era, he was a very young person to become a king. And then in the 1970s, 80s, he was really very sick to the 90s. So that was when, I chanced by a video by the former Greater Accra Regional Minister, Joshua Labi, who happened to have said how the paramountcies of the Nungwateshi Tema all came into being when during his time he made him sign for the paramountcy. So it happens that from that time, there is this segmentations of the gas, which has happened to be like, I'm independent from you, so I do not have to spearhead certain agenda. But it's time for us to come together. Because whether you are from Nungwa, you are from Teshi, you are from Tema, you are Ga. And that's the underlying factor. So the idea sharing that we are talking about is somebody from Tema, somebody from Nungwa, somebody from Teshi may have a brilliant idea, which may be different from an idea that I have from this part of the Ga also has. So when we come in together, it means that we come in to brainstorm on how developmental issues and how to tackle, number one, our educational issues here as a Gadangbe. Because previously, when you mention about 2-3 doctors, of course, there is no way you would not mention a Ga. When you mention lawyers, like the likes of the Ikutus that have come to pass, there were prominent people in this country that were Gadangbe. But today, we are not seeing that because we've relented certain efforts. So by idea sharing, we are coming to brainstorm to bring together certain ideas, of course, to tap on the knowledge of these expertise, these people that have been able to be celebrated all on the walks of life of this country, who are GAS, so that they can be bringing us mentors, and that's the number one word, to provide mentorship for the youth. Because anything that we want to achieve, somebody has already done it. Very good morning to Dr. Daniel Macaulay and then Richard Nyamakwe, Mr. Richard Nyamakwe. I mean, these are two brilliant business moguls that as GAS we are proud of and we want to mention anywhere. So with what they have achieved so far, when people like this, who are on the bill, of course, to speak on that day, are sharing ideas to the youth on how they started life and how they think that we can be able to make it, that is the start way to go. So that's why we are saying that development through idea sharing, of course, you cannot, in Ghana we say, meaning that one head does not,
exactly.
Yes, one head does not have everything for the want of word. So when we all come,
in one person.
exactly. Yeah. So when we all come together, that is when we can draw the unity in strength and the numbers, so that we can come up with a very brilliant idea and a roadmap that we are trying to draw. That's a 5-year to 7-year development plan. To see that, to see that in the next 7 years, when we are mentioning cabinet ministers, we should be able to have a lot of them. Today we only have Sam George, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if there is any other cabinet minister aside Sam George. So we are hoping that in the next administration, perhaps, we are still advocating. Yeah, we are not saying that the government of the day, that's His Excellency John Mahama, hasn't really done well for the gas. He has done. But as young advocates, we are advocating for more. There should be a lot of them. We want to see the lives of Joshua Labis in salient positions, handling affairs of this country, so that as Ghans we can feel proud. Because the roadmap is that in the next 10 years, 15 years, we should have somebody who is of that material essence, who can also become a flag bearer of any of the political divides, so that we can be proud to say that we are not a vice president, but we are also the president of this country. Because when you're looking at the political divides, both NDC, NPP, CPP, whatever, what have you, you realize that there is not a salient or an expected Ghan person prominent enough who has even become a flag bearer or even a running mate. And that is the vision that we are pushing, that until that day that we are getting people like that to occupy certain key positions, we are not going to be satisfied and we are not going to relent. So we are starting the effort today, because the journey of 1,000 miles starts from today, and we are starting on Wednesday. So wherever you are, if you are a Ghan and you are a Dangbe, please join us, join forces, so that we'll be able to advocate for the Ghan girl and the Ghan child, so that we can come together and get a better future for us all. Thank you.
What time does it start? What time does it end? And is it open to the public? Is it free?
Yeah, the program is starting at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. It's a 3-hour program. By 12, we should be done with the program. And it is open to all. Even though it is Gadangbe centered, we are open to everybody. So far as you are a resident of Accra, you are also welcome. So Lily, with your beautiful self, we want to see you there with your team to come and push your... Because if there's peace and tranquility in Accra, it will benefit all residents of Accra. The other time, Akin was saying something. We have the Wulome who perform certain prayers, not rituals, because our Wulome are priests, they are osofoi, they are pastors. Okay, they perform certain prayers and pour libation so that there will be peace and tranquility in Accra. So when you look at other regions where there's rift, there's fight, there's chaos and all that, you see less of that in Accra, even though we have become cosmopolitan. Okay, so we are welcoming everybody. In Ga, we say, it means that we welcome everybody into our fold, to the point that we give them rules, we hire our houses, and now it's become a problem on us. Okay, so Lily and your team, anybody who is resident in Accra,
we will be there.
We are expecting everybody.
He will be there.
Exactly.
Yes, he must be.
Yes,
he must be there.
He must be there.
Exactly. And then we spoke to Mr. Nikwe just now. He said he's also going to come with his team and all that. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry within Greater Accra is welcome to the program on Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
That's me and Leo Yanka. He's head of Finance Gha Youth Forum. Malik Abe, he's head of Operations Gha Youth Forum. And Aulana Kwale is also head of PR for the Gha Youth Forum. Thank you very much. We'll see you on Wednesday. Let's do some celebrations now. Happy birthday, Abidjan Boga. Hey. Wishing you an unforgettable day filled with love, laughter, and all your favorite things. May this special day mark the beginning of an incredible year ahead filled with new opportunities, growth, and success. Happy birthday, Joseph Sasaku from Mante and the entire Abidjan team. Happy birthday to you, Eva Dankwa. 50 years of God's unwavering blessings in your life is an achievement for anyone to wish for. On this day, I pray that God gives you more strength, more wisdom, more knowledge, and more wealth to keep you leading, nurturing, and loving your family and colleagues at work. Happy birthday to Eva. Live and blessings. Nurain, GHOne, formerly of Startright Montessori School. To Reverend Father Michael Kojo Mensah, I wish you a very happy birthday. As you mark your golden jubilee, we pray for God's blessings to you and your ministry. Enjoy the day and keep being amazing from Youth of St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Church in Legon. Happy birthday, Dominic Boche. May God bless your new age and fill your cheeks with endless joy and happiness. Embrace greatness and strength, bro. You deserve all the finest things in life. Enjoy your day, Emperor from Eddie. Happy birthday, Mr. Augustine Badasu. May the good Lord continue to bless and increase you in every endeavor of your life from your daughter, Regina. A glorious birthday to the CEO of the First Love Therapeutic Massage Center, Mr. Samuel Asempa, from the entire EIB network. We wish you nothing but the best of the years ahead. May all that your heart desire come through for you in Jesus' name. And so if you're celebrating your birthday today, we say happy birthday to you. Live large and enjoy the goodness. And then if you're marking any significant milestone, we say congratulations to you. Before I go, let me do my final birthday wish. Happy birthday, Dr. K. Wishing you more grace, wisdom, and good health as you celebrate another year of life. May God continue to guide your steps and crown your efforts with success. May your light never go dim. Enjoy your day to the fullest from the Osei Bonsu family. And my name is Lily Mohammed. I'll see you again at 11:30 for the Brunchtime News. Good morning.